This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
Spoilers. I know they're supposed to come before it happens, but we just say it after we spoil shit.
That was a spoiler. Just go back and erase it from your memory.
Yeah, you could do that. You can do whatever you set your mind to.
Well, hey there, everyone. How are you?
Now that we've acknowledged your existence.
Were you there the whole time?
This is embarrassing.
So embarrassing. I'm Ken.
And I am Chris.
This is the Geek Pants Camcast. Believe it or not, it still exists.
We're up to 30 subscribers, by the way.
Yeah, you like that?
I looked at it last night.
I boosted the shit out of that.
I was like, wow, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
I was like giving away stuff that I didn't need on High Def Ninja. Be like, I'll give this to you if you subscribe.
Woo!
Subscribers! Yay!
Well, it sounds better than, we're up to 13 now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're more than double.
And the thing is, these people all love what we're doing. It's just they never knew it existed.
Yeah, and even the subscribing thing, I just recently started doing that with this video gamer, the Rad Brad.
Okay, yeah,
You're familiar with him?
I've seen his stuff.
First of all, I think he's awesome. Like, just the way he's presents everything.
Yep.
The games he plays are awesome. Like, now I want to play more video games because of the Rad Brad.
So now you're like, I gotta get a PS4.
Yeah, now I have to get a PS4. Now I have to play Hitman, that new Hitman game.
The new Hitman, yeah.
Like, his run-through on that one, I was just like, oh my god.
And that's really cool, too, because you can play the first episode for free.
Yeah.
So, like, if you get a PS4, you could play it and be like, okay, I actually don't like it before you spend money.
I don't know. Rad Brad makes
probably
it look really cool.
Well, I mean,
I also love when he's just
Are you as rad as Brad?
I'm not.
Well...
I'm not, because, you know... It is a really great nickname, too, the Rad Brad. I was
like, what did you go with
awesome.
that? I would go with that.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to
I love his little tagline. It was just like, I love you guys. Let's do this. I'm like, all right, let's do this, Brad. I'm with you on this one.
There's so many good YouTubers out there.
There is. There's a lot of really good YouTubers.
Like these people could be on TV shows.
But it's funny. For him, he's topped out for me because now I watch other guys and I'm like, it's okay, but you know, you're not Rad Brad.
See, I'm a Kind of Funny fan.
Kind of Funny? Well, I'm gonna have to check that one out. I'm gonna have to check that.
They're really good. They got two channels. One is like they do the Game Over Greggy show and they talk about every topic.
Okay.
And the other channel is Kind of Funny Games. It's all games.
Okay. All right.
Really good. Okay. I'll throw them up on my TV downstairs and Adrian will watch with me and we'll just both be laughing.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely.
And they do a thing like this, like at a table, friends just hanging out.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I copied them.
No. That's what is it? Great minds think alike.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
That we'll go with that.
That's gotta be.
I was actually thinking of this well before I found out about them. So.
Right. Yeah.
I just didn't do anything until I went, hey, look at how much fun these guys are having.
Yeah, that thing that I
why
had
the fuck are we not doing this?
Exactly.
We sit around and talk with each other all the time. Hey, let's just put on a camera.
Yeah. Ugh. And
speaking of which, hey, welcome to my house. We're going to be shooting here. This won't be the background forever. This is like probably just a one episode. Look at all the movies Ken has. There's my Dark Knights right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is what you were talking about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. See, and the hologram or lenticolor, or whatever you call it.
Lenticular.
Lenticular, that's right. I was like, man, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but anyways.
Should we say the address so that just in case Nick Cage figures out that he wants to be on the show?
Right.
Right.
Come on, Nick. I got so many movies here you can autograph. And
you could be on camera.
We got Tim Hortons. You might win a free donut if you roll up the rim.
If you do it soon.
Oh.
Okay, so I guess not.
Nothing.
Now I'm just.
It's got to happen.
I'm trying to figure out like what Nick Cage picture you're gonna come up with next because it is kind of neat. The ones.
That's why I want the green screen. I can just have every picture pop up. I can have that Con Air one where his hair's like blowing.
What is it? The True Vampire.
Which would be perfect because you could turn around and be like, and I'll put that picture up.
Nice.
Yeah. See.
Nice.
It works.
Is that True Vampire the one where he eats the cockroach or whatever? And then he
Vampire's Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss, that's the one. That's the one.
So funny. He's not a vampire and he thinks he's a vampire.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I wanted to watch it just because it was like, that's a fucking hilarious premise.
I wanted to watch Raising Arizona in the theater a couple of weeks ago, but couldn't make it.
Yeah. Well, life, eh? It
life, you know, the whole
finds a way.
adulting.
Oh man, I used that the other day,
adulting.
but I hate that phrase.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally adulting. You're doing the same thing everyone's done centuries.
I'm adulting.
But now we call it adulting.
Maybe I couldn't stay a kid forever? What's this fucking horseshit, man? So today we're going to talk about Phase 2.
Wait, hold on. Is it still Geek Pants?
Yeah.
Because you didn't say Geek Pants.
I did. I started off.
When did you say Geek Pants?
Look at like minutes ago, man. I said the Geek Pants Camcast. I can't remember. Remember I was talking about how we haven't done it in months?
I remember you saying that part, but I don't remember you
saying
saying the Geek Pants Camcast.
This is the Geek Pants Camcast, believe it or not.
See, I got that done better than you did.
I feel like we should start wearing like superhero pajama bottoms to live up to the title.
Or just no pants at all, because how are they going to notice?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's true.
You made that weirder than it was.
Well, I mean, just don't get an erection in the thing, because I don't want the table lifting. It's not very sturdy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all looks. It's just...
They'll know, too, because it'll be like that.
Yeah, it'll lift right up, your coffee will spill over.
That's right. Because we have huge egos.
That's all, just egos. This is the Geek Pants Camcast, Chris.
Thank you for
the
saying
Geek Pants Camcast.
I'm mad that you made me
I don't
bring
even
that
really want to count the episode numbers anymore because it's embarrassing. I actually called the Kung Fury 1 4.5.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
Nice,
4.5.
nice. All right, whatever. So it's our fifth one.
It's our fifth one.
Who cares?
But like I said, in that
People start at 1.
Yeah.
And then they go. We said like 1 million, right? So you have to get to number 5.
We got a lifetime, man.
Yeah.
You know, YouTube. I don't know what that would be like. 30 years from now.
Yeah. We'll probably be retired, living off of the residuals from
Absolutely.
the amount of money we make doing this.
In our gold thrones, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
The gold thrones. That's right. Yeah. And chalices. I was like, as soon as you said gold throne, I was like, chalice! I finally got to use that word. It's so great. So Marvel Phase 2.
Marvel Phase 2. 5 films.
Yep.
We're going to start with... I don't even actually... Iron Man 3 is the
Iron Man
first
3
one.
is the first of the...
Okay, you know what? I was thinking about Phase 2 today, and I was looking at the lineup, and I realized that Phase 2 is probably my most, like... It's probably the most disappointing... Yeah, you got all of them right there. Iron Man 3. Boom. Oh, look, they're actually in fucking order for me.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, except I got Ant-Man in the wrong spot. See, I threw you off with that one.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
Yeah.
You're
Boom!
welcome.
Thank you. It's funny because it has one of my favorite Marvel movies with Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's probably my least favorite run of Marvel movies. Most disappointing. Because Iron Man 3 I was disappointed with. Especially when you were coming off Avengers.
Yeah,
we're gonna delve into Iron Man 3, but I'm just like...
Yeah, no, like, there was no way I walked out of that theater like, yeah!
Yeah!
Yes!
Yeah!
This is awesome!
It was a very weird movie.
Very weird.
Because it's not what anyone was expecting it to be.
No, and even the fact that it made like $1 billion.
Well, people love frickin' Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, but like,
Tony Stark.
I watched the movie and I'm just like, I wasn't compelled to see it again. Like Avengers, I was like, yeah, I could see this like 4 or 5 more times, and I wouldn't like really get sick of it. Maybe around the 5th time, I'd be like, okay, now I'm good.
Yeah.
But Iron Man 3 was definitely a one and done, and then maybe when it comes out again, I'll watch it just to kind of see if maybe.
So have you only seen it once?
No, I've seen it a couple of times.
Okay.
I've seen it a couple of times.
And did you warm up to it all on your second and third viewings?
It's about the same. It's still the same. Like, I mean, I didn't like how this was a Tony Stark movie. Yeah,
it's basically what I call it, Tony Stark and the Iron Men.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I didn't like
it's a Bond movie with Tony Stark.
Like, it's funny because, like, Iron Man 2 gets a lot of flack for jamming a whole bunch of stories into one movie.
Yeah.
But then you look at Iron Man 3, and it's the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you've got Tony suffering from PTSD, which I thought was great. I liked that.
I love that aspect.
I was like,
that aspect was so
they've
good.
never touched on stuff like that before.
There's going to be spoilers. If you haven't seen Phase 2, then just go away.
At this point now, if you haven't seen any of the movies, don't... I mean, subscribe, watch later on when you watch these movies.
Yeah, subscribe. Just, share it even. So you can
definitely
ruin
share
the movies for all your friends and family.
Share it for sure. Share it to everybody.
But watch it later on. That's cool.
I mean, I guess we might as well. We're in it, so we might as well just jump right into it.
Let's just jump right into it.
Okay, so yeah, the PTSD stuff. I really like that aspect. I remember distinctly being in the theater and going like, "Oh, that's kind of cool."
Because
they did that.
I would be like that if I was a regular dude in an armor suit. And all of a sudden there's fucking aliens and I'm in a wormhole and
like you. Well, pretty much died to save the world.
Yep.
You know, and you had, and in doing so, you made Captain America think you were cool.
Yeah.
Because he thought you were fucking useless.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, I mean, I thought that was a really neat touch. And then, what else? What else did I like? I as much as I hate to say it, I actually liked the Mandarin, Trevor Slattery, or whatever his name was.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool in the lead up to him because, like, Kingsley did this thing where, like, in one thing he had a weird, almost East European accent, and then in another one it was another sort of, like, ethnic accent. Like, he was doing that weirdo, like, all-encompassing terrorist type thing.
The lead up to him?
That was really cool.
You'll never see me coming, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Like, that voice, so good.
I was like, man, this is a really awesome take for a pretty racist character.
Yeah.
And so now they make it so he's sort of raceless because he's all encompassing.
He's everything.
You know, he's every single terrible ethnic terrorist out there in one thing. And I thought, holy fuck, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, the reveal, which I did chuckle at first. I was like, oh, that's kind of, okay, we subverted expectations. But every time I watched it after that, I was always just like, yeah, but man, you build him up so much, and then it's just like, yeah, he's not the real boss. The real boss is, what's his face?
Oh, Killian.
Killian, yeah. And
which was fine, but I mean, like, the Mandarin is Iron Man's big villain.
Yeah.
Like, I was waiting to see Iron Man against Mandarin.
I was all in,
like,
especially because in the first movie, they mentioned the 10 rings.
I know,
and immediately I was like, no way.
Mandarin is out there. Like, this is
going to be great, right? Yeah. And then to use that as sort of the lead-in for, it's a terrorist conglomerate.
Yeah.
But also, and I mean, you could have just as easily still had the 10 rings on him and make him powerful. You know, instead they I mean, it's funny, but it's just, I feel like it's a huge letdown, especially because they build him up so well.
I know.
You know? And I mean, Killian...
Yeah, you know, like, he was a good villain.
But
he's not the villain I wanted. Like, that's not who I went to Iron Man 3 to see.
No, and my problem with Killian was, it was kind of like with Iron Man 2 and, what's his name?
Oh.
Hammer.
Oh, Hammer. Yeah.
So now we have two guys that are essentially the less cool version of Tony Stark.
Yeah.
As the bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Justin Hammer was awesome.
He was a great
Sam
guy.
Rockwell, he was just bang on. I was like, man, we should see more of him. Because he was just great. Killian did the same thing, except now he was, like, really nerdy in the beginning and then became really cool. But it was the same type of character. And the whole... So we had, so PTSD, great. We had Mandarin, great. Build up.
To a degree, yeah.
But then, and then you had Killian and Extremis, and then ultimately the real Mandarin until they retcon that, right?
I hope they retcon. But they're not going to retcon it because we're at this is the end now.
They did.
They got Thanos. Like,
they retconned it because they did say he's still out there, right?
So, I guess, but I mean, are we really going to see him?
It's a sloppy retcon. I'm not saying it's a good one.
It's not like we were going to see Abomination again.
Exactly. Exactly. But like, so that's there's that, and then there was Pepper Potts, Iron Patriot.
Her little turn there, yeah.
You know, like that's 5 plot lines in one movie.
And don't forget about the whole little kid.
And the little kid.
Why wasn't that Amethyst Chow?
I remember literally walking out with you. We were both just like, it seems like they was building for it to be Amadeus Chow, so that later on, when he was older, he showed up. Then you're like, you're the kid.
Yeah, you could introduce him later on, like in an Avengers movie, and be like, "Oh, the Hulk, I love you, man."
Yeah.
And then there you go.
Iron Man. Hey, Tony, remember me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you helped me get my spark back.
Yeah.
You know,
that part really threw me off.
And it was
because it had so much potential to be so cool.
And it really did take me out of the movie. Like, I remember you used to say with Batman The Dark Knight, you were like, when he goes to China, it takes me out of the movie. And it never did. This took me out of the movie.
Right.
I remember immediately being like, how long is this sequence going to be? And it was a long sequence.
It's just a side story that if you were to remove that from the movie, just take it out, it's not really going to change much. You could be like, oh my God, Tony's missing. We don't see Tony. Tony's back. He doesn't mention the kid once or how he got everything.
Yeah.
You like,
they do
he's
that
back. He's still alive.
Half hour, or what is it, about half an hour?
Yeah.
And then never mentions it ever again.
Right.
Ever. Doesn't have a picture of him in his suit.
Nothing.
No indication that this kid helped him out. And then, even after that, it's still, I think, another 20 minutes before he's actually in the Iron Man suit anyway.
Right.
He goes into the compound by himself.
Yeah.
With no suit on. For what? He's fucking Iron Man. Get in there, kick the door down.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try and stealth ninja it because, you know,
with
Robert Downey Jr.
the one rocket boot and
Wing Chun
in
real life. Like, it was... The more I watch it, the more I'm like, I don't know what they're thinking. The other part, and then of course you read stuff, right?
Yeah.
So then when you read, like, the woman, I can't remember her name.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember her name either.
But
she does the villain turn.
I wanted to write it down. She does the villain turn, but then they don't commit because...
Her real name's like Rebecca something.
Yes.
Rebecca... Where the fuck did that movie go?
Yeah,
her name will be on the back.
Let's just not mix any words here.
Oh, maybe it'll be on the case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, slide. Yeah, what's it? Let's just slide it up. There's the cast.
Oh, there you go.
It was put on the case, not the slip.
Rebecca Hall.
Rebecca Hall.
Yeah, Rebecca Hall. So
beautiful actress, by the way.
She's supposed to be the big bad. You find out that she's the one that's supposed to be the big bad guy.
That would have been way more entertaining.
That would have floored me.
Yeah.
Then I would have been like, you know what? I'm mad that they didn't really have the Mandarin. But if she was the real Mandarin, I would have been like, Jesus
how amazing would that be? No one would see that coming.
10 rings,
yeah.
I would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I would have been like, this is a lot better movie than I thought going into this.
Yes.
And then I would have said, like, we were just talking about, I don't know how, I couldn't see it making $1 billion. It blows my mind it made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, because, you know, she was friendly with him, they shared an eye, she's really fucking evil. Oh, by the way, she's the Mandarin, like, because then you don't worry about the ethnicity stuff, how that's a racist caricature, you gender swap, you know, all these things. I would have been like, wow, awesome.
I would have fine with all of that.
Yeah.
The only reason that made $1 billion is because it was coming off the monster as Avengers.
Thor 2 could have came.
Yeah, if you would have had Thor 2 after Avengers, it would have been $1 billion movie.
It would have been $1 billion movie.
I bet they're wishing.
Every single person were like, I don't know why I saw this in the theater.
We should have put Thor after Avengers, so we would have made a lot more money.
By the way, I guess you can figure out we're not big fans of Thor either. The Dark World. Oof.
Yeah, that's next. Good.
I mean, like, okay, not to knock any of the people in the movie, because they all did a great job.
It's a fantastic cast.
It's well acted.
Beautifully directed, cinematography, music, everything
about it is great. It's just, it's a weird movie.
It's just, I don't know, like, they didn't really have a direction. They're like, we want a little bit of this, want a little bit of that. Oh, let's just add it. Let's connect these dots. Okay,
everyone complained about this in Iron Man 2, but not one person was like, oh, there's a lot of pointless bullshit in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, Pepper Potts gets the extremists, and then what happens after that?
Yeah.
Does it just burn out of her system?
Or how about how Tony Stark stops being Iron Man at the end and all of a sudden he's Iron Man again in the next Avengers?
Yeah. The one thing that is supposed to keep him alive is the Iron Man suit, the arc reactor.
Yeah.
Okay? And nobody could ever figure this out. In the 50 million years of comic books, no one's ever been able to figure this out. Even Tony Stark, Reed Richards, who else is really super smart? Peter Parker, Hank Pym, Bruce Banner, the list goes on and on about all these geniuses. Not one person can figure it out. But
Black Panther's sister.
Chinese doctors were like, hey, Tony, guess what? We can totally fix that. You don't have to be Iron Man anymore. Okay, great. I'm not going to be Iron Man anymore. That was the biggest complaint I had. I remember we talked about this. And then because we knew Iron Man or Avengers 2 was coming out. We knew Avengers 3 was coming out, and 4 and 10. And every single time we brought that up, it was like, yeah, but how are they going to explain Tony Stark coming back? And I think I remember saying, he's just going to come back and they're not going to say anything. And they did exactly what they did.
Exactly that. But yeah, I did my my Mighty Marvel Marathon right before Civil War.
Yeah.
I watched all of them. And when I got to Iron Man 3 and I finished Iron Man 3, because when I was putting in Iron Man 3, I was like, here we go.
Yeah, trepidation.
Yeah.
Which is a good word, by the way.
I was like,
but
very good.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice.
You're just like,
And beautiful job on pronouncing it, by the way. A lot of people to trepidation.
Yeah,
Smart.
Yeah, but like I felt the same way. It was just one of those like, well, it's on, and I catch it right at the beginning. So
here we go, in for the ride now.
Let's dive right on in.
But when it ended, like I stopped and I thought about the movie for a while. I was like, you know what? I think the reason why I disliked that movie is because of where it takes place in all of the phase, like all the Marvel universe. If that was at the end of Phase 3, like Tony Stark lives in the Avenger movies. He says goodbye to Captain America because we know Cap's gonna die, and you know, and then they had at Iron Man 3 or call it Iron Man 4 at the very end. Stops being Iron Man. He's gonna retire with Pepper. Everything's good. That would have been a great send off to the character.
Yeah, it is. Now that the more I think, like just you mentioning it, it is weird that they started the phase with an ending movie, no less.
With it, yeah, like I don't know why no one at Marvel looked at this and went, "This is a beautiful end to the character arc."
Yeah, and then and the beauty part is, so you do Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, and you tease that whole like, oh, we're gonna fight type of thing, right? And then you do Iron Man 3, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm done, I'm over with, right? And you could still do Civil War. Right, because now he's no longer Iron Man, but he still wants to protect the world. So he's going to be just like he was. He was going to be the Shield contact or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was, but essentially he was going to be the guy that says, "Okay, well, we're going to do this now."
Yep.
And then it can still play out the exact same way.
Same way.
And it can mean even more because now Tony's like, "Look, I was done. Now I got to put the suit back on. Now I got to fight you guys, and you guys were all my friends. This is bullshit."
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. Placement would have been,
and like you can even
and
go
then
about
Thor could have been here and made $1 billion.
Bam! Right?
Yes.
Like I don't know. Like I look at this and I'm just like, that movie would have been really good at the very end. You know, the PTSD could have been him feeling grief and depression over the loss of one of his friends or two of his friends from the last Avengers against Thanos.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I misunderstood. You're saying hold it off until Avengers 3. The
end. Like, end Robert Downey Jr.'s run with that movie.
Yeah. Okay, so then, all the stuff I was saying about Civil War.
And then he could have met whatever kid and would be fine because this is his last story. Yeah. You know, we wouldn't have to mention the kid again for another fucking 10 years.
That's right. Hell, he could have adopted the kid.
Yeah, I know.
Your parents suck anyway. Might as well live with me. Would you like to be my Robin?
Take your pants off.
Whoa. If you're going to say that, say, take your geek pants off.
Oh!
But for the record, for those of you that don't know, for the longest time, Robin didn't wear pants. Nope. He wore emerald panties. And it pains me to say that because I'm a huge Robin fan. And yes, emerald panties. Anyway, moving along. Anything else about...
I think I'm good with Iron Man 3.
I think so.
I think it's a wonderfully made movie that took place at the wrong time.
Yeah. You know what's funny is some of the stuff I'm going to bring up too is the stakes in the movie. Most of the movies in Phase 2 had no stakes at all.
Yeah.
No stakes at all.
Minus the one.
There's really only one that had stakes, and you know this because it changed everything.
Yeah.
It changed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it changed the rest of the Marvel U, and we'll get to that. But everything else just sort of happened, and you don't really reference it afterwards. Nobody sits there and says, hey, Tony, how's the PTSD? You still kind of, you know what I mean? It's over, it's done with. And I mean, that's fine for that aspect, but and we'll get into Thor right now. So Thor: The Dark World.
Nothing about Thor going back to London going, oof, oh, they sure fixed this place quick.
Yeah, what about that monster that they never ever grabbed afterwards?
Yeah, what happened to that guy?
Apparently he's still roaming around London.
Yeah.
So Thor: The Dark World, I feel like a lot of the things that I'm going to be saying about Thor: The Dark World is the same thing I've said about Iron Man 3, where it's well acted. Okay.
Well acted.
Like, in this... Okay, so I'll retread a little bit. In Thor 1, I still feel like the last half hour is very unearned. You know, it's very rushed where he's like, he's sent to Earth to learn how to be a better person, and he meets, you know, Jane Foster and her wacky cast of characters, and within 2 days' time, boom, yeah, you know what, save them, just take me, right? It didn't have as much of a growth for it, whereas I feel like in this movie, his progression is way more earned.
Yeah. Because,
you know, he went through, you know, Thor 1, he went through Avengers, and then now he's back, right? And he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, protecting the Nine Realms, and messing around with his brother, right?
Yep.
With tomfoolery and stuff like that, and it doesn't get the credit it deserves. Like, even I'm saying, like, it's not like one of the better movies, but I liked it better than I liked the first Thor.
I like the first Thor more.
I know.
But
your opinion is stupid, just so we're clear.
But my opinion's always right. Here's the thing about the first Thor and the Dark World, though. He had Jane Foster and her wacky cast of characters, right? And I'm going to go a little tease into what we're going to talk about in Phase 3 eventually here, though.
Yeah.
Those wacky cast of characters spread out the goofiness.
Yes.
Ragnarok got rid of all of this cast.
Can I just say really quickly, I didn't like how they really maximized the weirdness of Eric Selvig.
Yeah, he was very weird.
They made, like, it started off kind of funny, and then by the end of the movie, I was like, okay.
You're weird, dude.
All right, like, let's let it slide. And then, of course, in Avengers 2, nothing. We don't hear about it ever again. Remember that time when you ran around in your underwear? We don't talk about that.
Well, he's not in the second one. He's in the first.
No, he's in Avengers 2.
Is he in the second too?
He helps Thor find the cave. That pool where he has
he's got that little appearance.
Yeah, but we'll backtrack. So, yeah, you're right. With Ragnarok.
We'll talk more about Ragnarok when we get to Ragnarok.
But all of those goofiness went straight into Thor. With a side order of Tony Stark.
Thor's just a college jockey goof nut.
Just that douchebag jock, and not the one that you were like, yeah, you know, he can kind of be a little bit of a dick sometimes, but he's generally a nice guy. It's full on like The Rock, you know, from WWF back in the day. You really look at it, he's not a good dude.
No.
You know, you're laughing, but he's total prick, making fun of everybody. When he doesn't get his way, he turns into a little bitch. Yep. You know, it's just... It was jarring because, like I'm saying, for the same reasons that I'm saying, like, the Thor in Thor 2, I felt was a better version of him. And even in Age of Ultron, you know, you're getting this guy who's like, you know, I was kind of a douchebag, you know, I was that jock everybody loved, but for the wrong reasons. Well, you know, now I'm more like Captain America, or I'm more like all these people I'm surrounding myself with. I care about Midgard, I care about the Nine Realms, I care about all these people, I don't want anyone to get hurt, and then to do a 180, where, you know, I mean...
Yeah, well, I mean, like, Age of Ultron, well, we're going to get to it, but there's that whole side story of Thor and everything with the pool, and, you know, and, like, it's a very serious matter.
Yeah.
Like, he's taking this stuff seriously.
Exactly.
Which is Thor. That is Thor.
Yeah.
Don't know if you read comic books, but Thor is not an idiot in the comic books. He's not just like...
He's not a joker.
Sword Thor! Oh, I'll just turn around on his chain and joke at you the whole time.
Yeah, he's...
Giant fire demon.
I mean, like, okay, like, I get it, because you've got Captain America, who's a stoic character. And I remember we brushed upon this with Justice League, where they had sort of like a cowboy surfer feel for Aquaman.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like... And at first I was like, it makes sense, because, you know, you have Wonder Woman, who's a Greek, you know, goddess, Amazonian. She's stoic. She doesn't really make jokes. She's regal.
Yeah.
Then you have Aquaman, who's part of Atlantis, and he's a king, he's regal, he's very stoic, so that's like two stoics, plus Batman is in there, you know, granted in Justice League everyone's cracking jokes, but yeah, so I can kind of see why they would have some brevity with Thor, but it's still just like Thor does jokes in Thor 1, in Thor 2, in both Avengers movies, but they're not like I never once rolled my eyes going like, oh my god, does everyone have to be Tony Stark?
Yeah.
You know? And I just, like I said, like, for me, at the Age of Ultron was like the last time I saw like a good Thor.
Yeah.
A really good Thor. You know?
So that's my problem with the Thor movies, is that Ragnarok is the best made out of all the Thor movies. But it's
the worst representation of
Thor. Absolutely.
Okay.
But we'll get back to the Dark World.
So Dark World. So
we got the worst MCU villain in here.
Absolutely the worst, and the one that I was kind of like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Because he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
I've always liked him.
And he's got the same name as you, so obviously
it's not even just that. It's partly
like,
that. You know, it's partly that because CHRIS. That's the only way to spell Chris. But
Fedek doesn't watch these anyways.
Yep, neither does Chris Christopherson.
He's got 2 Ks twice.
Anyway, but yeah, so was it Malekith? Malekith. That's right.
Malekith.
Yeah.
And I do like how they didn't have him speak English, though. How they went to subtitles the whole time.
I did like that. I thought that added to the otherworldliness of it. But yeah, it was just kind of like his whole thing was he was destroying the Earth.
Yeah.
Because he had to get the ether
and then destroy
the Earth without ever realizing that he'd be destroying himself with it. Like those kind of those bad guys are always just like, this makes no sense.
Bad guys just don't think about it.
You know, like Kurg was way more interesting, and he literally was like, I'm just gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah.
He looked cool too. I thought Kurg was good visually. Malekith looked great, and like we talked, I love
all the Dark Elves.
I love that he never spoke English. I thought that was awesome.
Yep.
I remember saying this to you too. I liked that they used the Dark Elves to really push the alien aspect without actually saying they're aliens, so that they don't do the whole gods thing.
Yeah.
Even though they do mention it from time to time, but they don't really lean into it. Still, like, they could have done so much with him.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
But he was... I'm thinking right now, and yeah, he probably is the worst of all the villains in the MCU. Now, I love Loki in this movie, though.
Yeah, but it's Loki.
The whole dying thing. He doesn't really die.
You know what I love?
And you're like,
wow. I love the scene where Frigga is killed. Yeah. And Thor goes to talk to Loki, and it's like everything looks like it's fine, everything's great and normal, and then he's like, I can't remember what he says, but he knows that it's not true, and then they show the real thing, and he's like barefoot, he's disheveled, he's crushed, you know, because this was really the only person that made him feel like he belonged in this family. Thor didn't, his own father, or Odin didn't, you know what I mean? And I was just like, man, that was so good, and like, there's a reason why there's so much fandom over Loki, and that's why they didn't put him in Avengers 2, because they were like, you're going to overshadow everybody in this movie,
again.
because he is so good, and like, you really, there are times where you're like, fuck, he's such a prick, and then there's other times where you're just like, but I love him. Yeah. You know? The dying, I thought was great.
Which is why he's going to be the first to fall in Infinity War.
He has to. I really hate to say it, but he absolutely has to be the guy that dies first. Yeah. You know? And it really doesn't matter how they do it. If they do it saving somebody, great. If they do it where he just overstayed his welcome, Thanos no longer needs him. Yep. Great. Either way, he has to go.
Maybe you have Thor pick up his body and be like, hey, look, Thanos, I'm still alive!
Yeah, do a little marionette thing, like, no, I'm still good to go. Thanos is literally like, are you retarded? I know that's not Loki.
No,
right, I guess I'll kill you both then. You know, the special effects I thought were really good.
Yeah.
It's
a great main movie.
Even giving like Jane Foster more stuff to do instead of just being.
I really like that whole the whole warehouse scene with the gravity and shit and
the portals and everything. Like it was
very
super cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, like it's just another one of those. But this is the one. Like I didn't realize there was really no stakes that happened in Iron Man 3. Until later on, but Thor was one of the first ones where I was just like, okay, so this movie happened, but
it didn't affect the movies at all,
you know, like
whatsoever.
It didn't have to happen.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. touched on it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They did touch on it, and that's what I really liked about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at first, was how they were kind of like, it was the thing that wrapped up the movies.
Oh, like okay.
Eventually, like season 2 or 3.
Companion piece.
Yeah, later on it went on its own and did its own thing.
It would have had to, though.
Can't just be the thing, you know. But so I don't really have anything else to say about Dark World. It is, let's look at Phase 2. It is the worst movie in Phase 2.
It is, yeah. Like, I mean, everyone's better in their roles.
Yes.
Like, everyone. Sif's better. Like, I liked that Sif was...
I love Sif. The fact that she wasn't in Ragnarok really pisses me off.
Spoilers!
Yeah. I mean, I know she has a TV show. The actress, Jamie Alexander, has a TV show. She's probably busy and everything. But at least mention her.
I know. Like, just at least, give me a reason to go, okay, well, at least they said that's why she's not there.
Like, on the ship taking off or something. Like, well, good thing Sif was on Earth or something.
Yeah. Anything.
Hey, Midgard. She's on Midgard right now. Yeah, she's fine.
Anything.
But whatever. Okay, I'm dumb. We'll get to Ragnarok and bye. Oh man. Okay.
Sure thing. I get. Yeah. Like, I mean, overall, better for me. Better than the first.
Right.
Not by a huge leap. Just so we're clear. Like, it's not like it blows it out of the water. It's just, if I had a choice between the two to watch, I'd watch The Dark World.
Right. Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, I mean, like, I do. And 30 of our subscribers agree.
But I win a car.
I don't know, actually, if they think I know what I'm talking about. But
I'm going to win a car right now, and then Chris and I are going to shut the video off and go for a drive.
Yeah, that's it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
I'm honestly, I got nothing to say about The Dark World.
I'm good.
It's please play again. Well,
now it's time. Oh, sorry. We got to do this.
Yeah, let's show off the movies because I have them.
Yeah, so, okay. But now...
And now that we talked about the worst in Phase 2...
One of the best.
That movie...
For me, it's the best.
That movie right there...
But I can understand people saying one of the best.
You know what? For me, the best is Avengers just because of the whole them all meeting and me as, like...
I'm talking about Phase 2.
A friggin' man boy.
Stay on topic. On topic.
Okay, well...
Phase 2.
Phase 2, easily the best Phase 2. But also the best of the entire Marvel series.
Yeah, it is so far one
other
of
than the first
best.
Avengers, just because, I'm going
yeah.
I freak out over that movie.
Yeah, you can't top the feeling.
The feeling just like, like the freaking 2-hour-long grin on my face. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
But Winter Soldier is fucking amazing because it's an amazing superhero movie, but you take away the superhero elements, and it's an amazing espionage, like
spy thriller movie. Like,
exactly.
I was not prepared for this movie to be this good.
I know.
I was a huge fan of Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the best of the first phase. Like, I would say, like, that and Avengers are like neck and neck. Okay, because the things that I realize now that I dislike about Avengers since our previous one sort of bring it back down to earth.
Last week on the Avengers.
Yeah, it brings it back down to earth a bit, but this was one of those sequels where it was like The Dark Knight, where it took everything that the first movie did, and in Captain America, it took everything that happened in the first phase, including Avengers, and then just went AWOL with it.
Yeah.
Like, you see Captain America in that stealth suit, carrying out stealth missions, and that boat scene is still one of the best scenes I've ever seen. It is so well shot, and it just looks fucking badass how he's just running around,
badass,
knocking people out, and nobody knows he's on this boat.
I know.
Until he basically goes, okay, well, I'm here. And Batroc, the Leaper, even though they don't call him the Leaper, but I'm a dork, so...
He leaped.
And George St. Pierre was excellent casting.
Yeah.
Which,
the cast is so fucking good in this movie. Frank Grillo as Crossbones.
Oh, so good. And the slow burn for him.
Man, I love that guy.
I loved that they had him be buddies.
If he wasn't Crossbones, that guy should have been the Punisher.
Yeah.
100% that guy should have been the Punisher.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
Brenthal is great.
He's so good. But at the same time, he's Bernthal. He plays the same guy all the time almost.
Yeah. But even still, regardless,
Yeah, but Frank Grillo, amazing.
He looks so awesome in that stealth suit, too.
Oh, yeah, Cap.
That's one of my favorite suits.
Mm-hmm.
So good. His character arc is great.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what else to do, so he's with S.H.I.E.L.D. He's just like, okay, I'm just going to do this.
What would you do? Everyone you love is pretty much gone.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. But I love how they touched upon that.
Yeah.
You know, like just the opening alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where they introduce Falcon. You know, and like immediately you see that buddy camaraderie right away. And I think one of the reasons why it works so well is because, like, Sam's, like, talking to him like he's a human being, even though he knows he's fucking Captain America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought that was a really cool touch. And then, like I said, the boat scene, but...
I'm smiling right now just thinking about this movie. This movie is so fucking good.
It is.
It's
like,
so good.
That was a movie that, like, I would pass out to for the longest time. Like, I was just, so good.
Yeah.
Like... What I really liked is because you have still sort of that sort of wide-eyed sort of like, I'm not really sure how the world works in Avengers with Captain America, or with Steve Rogers, I should say.
Yeah.
And then in this one, you see like he's finding his place in the world, right? Or trying to, at least.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the list of all these things he's got to check out. And it's like, man, that's super cool. You know, and he just seems like that, like, just that super nice guy that just wants to help out, and that's it. That's all he is, and they don't change that. They don't make him into, like, super douche jock who makes jokes about everything.
Yeah.
You know? Even just something as simple as, like, I know people were trying to hint that, Steve Rogers and Black Widow, like, they got it on in this movie, and I never got that impression.
I never got that feeling at all. They were
I got
friends.
the impression that she, was trying to impress him, trying to make him see that she's a good person, too.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, right at the beginning, on that boat scene where she's doing that side mission for Nick Fury, he's just like, what the hell? And she's just like, well, you know, you had your mission, I had mine, and then the whole grenade scene happens, and she's literally like, fuck. Like, I screwed up in front of Captain America. And she doesn't want to let him down. She doesn't want to let him down at all. But it's not like, I want to bang him. It was just...
Not once.
You know? Even when they had the kiss scene. You know? It was just a kiss to distract.
Exactly.
That's it.
It had nothing, like, there was no moment between them after the kiss.
Yeah. You know?
They were two spies doing the spy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't get anything from that.
No, exactly.
Two friends. She admired him for who he is. I mean, it's fucking Captain America.
Exactly.
You know, like a regular Joe would admire this guy. Someone in the same field as him would be like, you are...
I felt like it was the same parallel with the Peggy Carter in the first movie, where Peggy was already falling in love with Steve Rogers before he was Captain America.
Exactly.
And Natasha is seeing him as Steve Rogers more so than as Captain America.
Right.
So it's less like, oh, Captain America. It's just like, he's just a really good guy, and I want him to like me. You know?
I know.
But like, and that was a weird thing to have, like, those two in the movie.
Yeah. Together.
Right? And I remember thinking, like, right away, I was like, oh, that's really cool, you know? And I remember we talked about this, and that whole scene on the boat, not one person is killed. Even with her. She doesn't kill anyone because she's on a mission with Captain America. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And then that's it. But, man, even the whole thing where that immediately leads into Nick Fury showing Captain America, like, this is what we've been doing. Yeah. And he's just like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know? This, what did he say?
This isn't freedom, this is fear.
Fear. Yeah. Yep. It's just like...
Yeah.
And he's like, he can't really do anything about it, so he, you know, takes off, but he is like, he's not happy with this. He's starting to realize that, okay, being with S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't really where I want to be, and being in the shadows isn't really where I want to be, but still, you know, he's got to make that progression. The stuff with Sharon, too, being his roommate, or neighbor, was really like that. Cute. I thought that was really cool.
I like that, too.
So, it's funny, though, like, because we're comic geeks, so we don't think about these things, but I've had people point out that, like, it's really weird that he's, like, he starts dating, or he's got the hots for Peggy Carter, and then...
Her granddaughter?
Yeah, her granddaughter is the one he ends up hooking up with, and it's just like... Well, yeah, when you put it like that, it's kind of weird, but don't put it like that. Like, just don't bring that up.
And we're all good.
You know, because, like, I mean, if you want to use the movies as a reference, he never slept with Peggy.
He never did.
He never did.
They had a kiss.
They had a kiss. They were going to go on the date. He didn't bang her. Okay, like, and they reference that in Winter Soldier, where it's just like, when's the last time you kissed a girl? And it's just, you know, like 80-year-old virgin, right? But that was really cool. And all of that builds up into the first time we see the Winter Soldier, which was fucking awesome.
And like, we knew who Winter Soldier was.
We saw the trailers. We knew who he was. We knew the backstory. But they didn't,
like, during the trailers, they didn't really say it was Bucky, did they? They kept his face covered.
No, they kept his face covered. They never once said it was Bucky. We knew.
We know it's Bucky.
Right.
Like, my dad didn't know that was Bucky.
Yeah.
Regular people wouldn't know.
Right.
So that's a huge reveal.
Such a great job with that.
Yeah.
You know? And everything about the interactions, too. Where, like, they have the first meeting between the two, and they're running on the rooftops and stuff. And Cap's literally just, like, he throws the shield, catches it, throws it right back. No one's ever done that. He's just like, what the fuck? And he's going, wait a minute. I think I know that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was really cool. And then, the first scene I'm talking about is when Winter Soldier goes to kill Nick Fury.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And just destroys the whole freeway trying to get at him. And, like, that was really cool. And they did that whole, like, cut through the ground type of thing. And he shows up at Steve Rogers' apartment. Like, I mean, I don't think there's anything in this movie that I really don't like except the fake out death scene with Nick Fury.
I didn't mind that either, though.
And that's what I mean.
can see that, like, that could be your least favorite part.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, but it's like
it's
the
still
one.
not something that makes
like,
you go, ugh.
That's kind of like a reach too. Where I'm just like,
I'm reaching for that.
I wasn't really a huge fan of it because it just it didn't feel like it was really his death. I think that's the part that really bothered me. So when it showed up later, I wasn't like, oh, I was like, well, yeah. Of course you did.
Plus, we know the Winter Soldier storyline. If he would have killed Nick Fury, there's no way he's coming back from that later on. Yeah,
and we also knew that Samuel L. Jackson still had, like, I think at the time, 6 movies left in his contract.
And he hasn't been in anything since Winter Soldier, has he? Has he?
No, Avengers 2. He's in Avengers 2.
Oh, right. He showed up at the end of Avengers 2. Okay. That was it, though. Like, Phase 3 is so long, and he still hasn't appeared.
Yeah.
And I think he still has another 2 or 3 movies.
Well, hold on. So he was here, 1.
Iron Man.
2. 3. 4. 5. 6.
That's it. He had a 9
Weird not to see him in Civil War.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got another 3 movies left.
Yeah, because of the 9-movie contract.
Yeah.
He did appear on an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I wonder if that counts as anything.
That's right, he did too. And I remember what I was like, oh fuck. But
hey, Bill Paxton was the bad guy for season 1.
Yeah.
Like, it was a pretty good season. I do want to watch all of them back to back. But
I mean,
let's talk about Alexander Pierce, great villain.
Really good villain.
Great villain. Robert Redford was so awesome.
I remember there was some reviews and stuff, and they were complaining about how he was telegraphed as the villain early on.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but so what? I was okay with that.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of interested to see where he was going to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, the second after that Fury's dead, right?
Yep.
And Pierce is just like, so, what did he say to you? And Cap is like, didn't really say anything at all. And Pierce knows he's fucking lying.
Yeah.
Right? And then we immediately lead into the elevator scene.
Badass elevator scene.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, first of all, the boat scene, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But the fight scene with Georges St. Pierre as Batroc, also awesome. Especially because I have to mention this. He goes, oh, I thought you were just all shield, right? He goes, oh, okay. Helmet off.
Yeah.
One kick. It was a flip kick, overhead axe kick. Done. I was like, yes, awesome.
Yeah.
Right? But so then we get to this elevator scene, and it's so great because you're just like, okay, so it's starting to pile up in here, and you feel like this might actually, something might be going down here, and then he's picking up on it. He's seeing guys in suits starting to sweat, you know, and then what's his name? It's Crossbones, his real name.
Oh, Brock.
Brock, that's right.
Brock,
that's right. So Brock shows up and he's like, very like half-heartedly, like, really sorry about your friend.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden it's just, if anyone wants to get off before we do this,
yeah.
If anyone wants to get off, now's your chance. And then you're like, holy shit! Like you are like, holy shit! And then that's. Like, I have yet to see a fight scene that really comes close to rivaling that. Like, the stairwell scene in Civil War, really awesome, doesn't top that. That is so great.
No. I don't think anything really does top that. Not in the movies.
No, because, I mean, like...
If we're talking MCU as a whole, then the fight scene in Season 1 of Daredevil was pretty fucking damn good. The hallway fight.
The hallway fight, yeah. The
but
hallway fight is the topper.
We're talking the movies.
The hallway fight is the topper.
Yeah.
And probably why it tainted Iron Fist for me. Man, I really hated Iron Fist. Oh, God. Man. We'll get to that at some point, too.
Yeah, we'll do the Netflix run one day.
Yeah, but, yeah, that elevator scene was just awesome. It's so badass that he's just like, anyone wants to get off.
I know.
And then they just, and it's not like one after another, like some martial arts movies. They fucking pile on him.
Yeah.
And then it's all just like, he's stuck, he's beating people up, breaks it down, like, beats the fuck out of everyone, and then, like, ends it off with, like, Crossbones going, like, this isn't personal, and it's just, like, lays him out, kicks his shield up, and goes, kind of feels personal. Like, he one-lined it, and then jumps out of the fucking elevator, lands on the shield, and then takes down a fucking helicopter.
Yeah.
Like a shield helicarrier. Takes it down. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is awesome. So great. So great. I'm so pumped. I'll probably watch it tonight.
Yeah, I know.
I'm probably going to watch it tonight.
I'm getting that right now, too. Like,
because I'm just like, you know what?
We'll wrap up early.
Yeah.
So I can go to bed early and have
That's
a good night's
right. I'm
sleep.
going to go home.
But I won't go to bed till 1 or 2 because I got to fucking watch Winter Soldier now.
I'm going to grab a couple of beer on the way home just so I can watch
Yeah.
Winter Soldier. Like, it was so good. And my favorite part about this whole movie, because at this point, I say spoilers a lot, but I'm assuming we've all watched it, and that's why you're watching this stuff, is that we all know, like, there was huge stakes to this. Like, when...
Huge.
How did you feel when he and Natasha go to the old fort where he was trained?
Yeah. You
know, where he was picked, essentially, to be Captain America, turns it on, and then you see,
Zola.
Zola. How,
what's his first name? Arnim?
Arnim Zola.
Okay.
How awesome was it that instead of being in that huge robot body with the computer face, that he was actually the AI? I literally, like, as soon as it started talking, I went, no fucking way. And then when it lit up, I was like, that is so awesome. So crazy cool. And just talked about how almost immediately after Captain America was under, they had infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. I was like, this is so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, I was floored.
He's already having trouble getting to know this new world, who he can trust.
That's right.
And now it's just like, everything I just learned since coming back is just gone.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't know who the hell I can trust. I can trust Black Widow.
Because she's been with me the
She's
whole
been
time.
with me the whole time. I can trust Sam because he seems kind of cool, you know. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that part, there were so many good parts. Like, even just that quick scene where he meets up with Peggy Carter, and she's got Alzheimer's.
That was heartbreaking.
That was so bad, because you're like, oh man, that's so sweet that he kept in touch with her, and they're kind of joking, even though that she was married and had kids or whatever, and then the flip happens, and you're like, oh my god. And it's so heartbreaking, and it's heartbreaking for him, and oh man. And then, and you know, it's funny, because I was complaining in Iron Man 3 how it's basically just a Tony Stark movie, right? Mm-hmm. This felt like a Captain America movie, even though he wasn't in the costume for that much either.
Exactly. It felt,
you know?
Yeah.
And so it's interesting how well done they make that, because at no point in time was I just like, yeah, but when is he going to put the suit on, you know? Mm-hmm. But when he finally does put on the old suit, the original suit, you're like, yes! Like, I was pumped to see that, even though I love the stealth suit.
Stanley at the museum. Oh no!
Oh no! I'm gonna lose my job. I'm gonna get fired over this. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. But even that scene where he's in that hall, like the museum, and he comes across the Bucky monument. Yeah. And like
that was touching.
He's just this, and the kid sees him, and he's like, and you're just like, fuck, man, this is so great. Like, there's so many sweet parts. The freeway scene, where they're fighting, like, they're basically fighting a losing battle against Winter Soldier and his goons, and then even just how he repeatedly tries to just break through the programming without having to kill Bucky. Yeah. He doesn't want to kill Bucky. And this was right after Man of Steel, right? Mm-hmm. And the whole time, he's like, and everyone's saying, like, you're gonna have to do it. Even Sam is like, look, you're gonna have to fucking put him down. And he's just like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. I am not gonna do it. And that it ends off with him. He's just like, go ahead.
If you die and come back as a crazy Russian guy with a metal arm, I won't kill you, man.
Yeah.
I want you to know that.
I know that, because I'm with you. I
won't kill you.
I'm with you till the end of the line.
I'm like, fuck, I got a metal arm and it's still covered in hair. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no kidding.
Disgusting.
You couldn't even get through, like, block this shit off.
What the hell?
But, like, I could spend an hour talking about how great this
Winter Soldier could easily be an episode.
And
like, maybe one day when we run out of material, we'll come back.
But anyway, so we'll end off with, like, this. Like, the stakes were felt throughout.
And they're still being felt.
You had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shifted completely.
The whole show. Like, I can't even imagine what those showrunners were like. Are you kidding me? Like, everything we had planned out.
And they're like, yeah, it's scrapped now. Yeah. So then they're like, okay, so that changed.
Yeah.
And then, well, Civil War, like, it all led into Avengers 2. Like, everything was changed because of this.
Yeah.
There was and like you said, lasting effects. Civil War was still based around, because, Captain America, Steve Rogers, went from a guy who went through the army because he didn't like bullies, didn't care where they were from. Mm-hmm. All he wanted to do was help out. Mm-hmm. Became an Avenger because, well, why wouldn't he, right?
Yep.
And then finds out that the organization that he's working for is actually being run by the same guys he fought right in the beginning, and he thought he got rid of them. Oh, well, yeah, that would shatter my world too.
Yeah.
And then he's got, one of his best friends doing shit behind his back that ultimately could destroy the world in Age of Ultron, which we'll get to, and, like, it's fucked. So then when you get to Civil War, everything that happens up to that point that Captain America's doing, you're like, it all makes sense. Mm-hmm. And that's what I loved. And even with Iron Man, it's the same thing. You get to Civil War and everything he's doing all makes sense.
Holy shit, they're coming for us.
It could be the ambulance.
It probably is.
Yeah. Anyway. If that doesn't make it in the audio, then it's a good thing I said ambulance, so that they go, well, it must have been a siren.
What the hell was Ken talking about? They're coming at us!
But yeah, like, but like that, I'm with you to the end of the line, like, they had that scene where he's choking out Bucky, and I remember just in the theater going like, don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him, because I was doing the same thing with Zod, and now, like, I've softened on that one. I don't think I would have softened on this one, because I want to see the actual character progression of Bucky. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see him get to the point where he could take the shield and nobody that isn't a comic book fan will look at it and go, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I want that to be the point where they go, yeah, out of all the people in this universe that could take up that shield, Bucky's the one.
Because he had a longer contract than Chris Evans, right? He's 9.
Yeah.
Evans was what, 6?
He was 6.
So they're planning it. Like, Phase 4 is going to continue.
I remember that was part of the snag. Was originally they wanted him for 9.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr. said, "Well, no, just do 6. I set it for 6." Mm. So then he went, "Okay, well, I'll set it for 6." But then Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
They're like, "We need you for 9." He's like, "Done." Right?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. So.
And even Chris Evans now is like, you know what? I'll keep doing them as long as they want me to.
Well, because now he's going to be in that sort of like sweet spot with Robert Downey Jr., where now he maybe not get $50 million a movie, but he can command a higher salary, But I'll just end it off with even the ending. The ending is very like Empire Strikes Back, because you don't really feel like I mean, S.H.I.E.L.D. is disbanded. Even when like he says that, he's like, "Well, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s done. Yeah, it's over." And then Nick Fury's just like, well, I guess you are the captain now. You're like, yeah, fucking right. Yeah. And then he does that speech where he's just like, anybody that wants to fight with us, you can. If you don't, I understand.
Yep.
And it's like, the cost of freedom is high, but I'm willing to pay it. I was like, Jesus Christ, like, he's owning the role so much, and he's being Captain America. Like, I'm talking about Chris Evans. Like, he's being Steve Rogers, who is Captain America, but he's Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
He's owning this role. Everyone ramps it up. Like, it does that excellent spot of inspiration that you should have had with Superman in the first two movies.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least in Batman v Superman, you know? It's... I get why they went to Justice League to get to that point, but, I mean, he was doing it the first movie. He was already inspiring people,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just... it's such a great movie. Just so good.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing else to say.
I'm done. Like,
It's a 10 out of 10. It's perfect.
I'll talk about it forever because it's just so good. I mean, just the fact that he lets Bucky punch the shit out of him and it says, just do it. I'm with you till the end of the line. And Bucky can't kill him.
Yeah.
So he gets through to him. I was like, so good. So good.
Yeah. Winter Soldier. Oh, that's so good.
I mean, it's the same thing I've said with Dark Knight. Same thing you said right at the beginning. I tell people, you want to watch a good movie, watch Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Because even if you don't follow any of that superhero shit, you don't need to. Because it's still awesome.
End of the day, it's a great movie.
Oh, real quick, I liked the updated, almost ultimate version of Falcon.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because he's the one where, like, in regular comics, I don't know why, but he's had the worst costumes ever.
Yeah.
Like, you think white and red would be a cool, because we're Canadian, so it's kind of cool. But they give him these horrible costumes. He doesn't look like a badass at all.
No.
Or it's green and red, just these weird color schemes. They try to make him look more bird-like and urban at the same time, which I hate to use that word just because he's black, but it's like, I mean, the ultimate version got it right.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they skew in and out of the ultimate style. I think the only other one that I liked with Falcon was Cat Falcon. That was a cool costume.
That was cool.
For what it was, but still, it's not Captain America. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
It's just one of those, like, I know you're calling him Captain America, but until he drops the wings, the bird motif, just full on, just like Bucky did, full on adapts the costume to his own style, he's Cat Falcon.
Yeah.
Or Falcon America.
Captain Falcon.
I just like saying Cat Falcon because it reminds me of Cap Wolf.
Oh, man.
I feel like we have to just throw something really shitty about Captain America into this because we've just spent probably about 20 minutes saying it's crazy.
Oh, Cap Wolf.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Oh.
Thanks for bringing that back.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yep.
So.
What we got now?
Oh, I mixed up the order.
No.
Fixing it. Relax. Now, we come back to the second best movie
in Phase 2.
In Phase 2, and one of the best of the run so far.
Easily.
Because...
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is so damn good.
It is so
damn good because it's so damn different from everything Marvel had done up to that point.
Exactly.
James Gunn is a genius.
I will let you take the lead on this one. I'm going to say this really quick. This was the first one out of the entire run that I was like, I don't know about this. I was really hesitant about whether or not this would do good.
Oh, I was right there with you on that. I mean, because up to that point, it was the big four.
You weren't as hating on it because you were a fan of James Gunn.
I'm a fan of James Gunn.
And I didn't watch, was it Slither?
Yeah, you didn't watch it. See Super?
No, I haven't watched.
So you really haven't watched any of his movies.
No, so I was just
besides Dawn of the Dead, which he wrote.
And this is characters that I'm familiar with because we're those kind of geeks where we need to know every single aspect, whether or not they're our favorites or not.
Exactly.
But I was just kind of like, I don't know. But anyway, go.
But I mean, okay, no, but I was feeling the kind of like, really before James Gunn signed up. When you were like, we're doing a Guardians movie, I was like,
oh yeah. Immediately, I was
really?
like,
You're going to space already?
Why would you do that? This seems so.
Yeah,
why
like,
with these characters?
James Gunn's going to write and direct. I was like, Wow, man. I don't even give a shit now. I love it. That's a great movie, and I haven't seen it yet.
You kept telling me that. You're like, Slither, you gotta see Slither. And I was like, yeah, I'll get to see Slither. And now I'm like, I should watch it.
You still haven't seen Slither?
No, but I'm probably gonna just find it and then steal it for a while.
There.
There you go.
It's the new edition, too. I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, well then.
Scream Factory just re-released this, and it's got like a whole shit ton of like new audio commentary by him, interviews with the cast, like all brand new
I probably
stuff.
won't watch any of those things.
No, but I will.
Okay.
Slither. Yeah, awesome movie. Super's in here too somewhere.
I'm not worried about Super. We'll watch this first and then go to Super.
Yeah, watch that.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Yeah, where was I? Slither. No.
You weren't as hesitant as I was.
Threw me off on that one. No, I wasn't as hesitant. I was most hesitant with some of the casting, which was odd. I knew nothing about Chris Pratt before this because I didn't watch Parks and Rec.
Yeah, see, Chris Pratt was...
So they're like, Chris Pratt, this guy's going to headline it.
Yeah, I remember thinking, like, okay, so I guess...
And then I was like...
Star-Lord's going to be a joke character?
Marvel only hires guys named Chris? What?
Because Star-Lord in the comic books is actually, like, a douchebag. Like, he's a prick, and then he becomes, like, a Captain America type character.
Right.
But he actually has a story arc dating back in the 70s.
Yeah, he didn't fucking listen to it because that player danced around.
No.
That didn't happen. That's all James Gunn.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But anyway, so yeah, Chris Pratt, I remember being like, okay, I'm not so sure about that. The only ones that I was okay with was Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, that one was like, his voice is rocket.
Yeah, like Bradley Cooper I was fine with, and
Zoe
Saldana. Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yep. And then I wasn't too concerned with Dave Bautista because I generally assumed that Drax was just going to be like the Destroyer character. He wasn't going to be a smart guy.
Not going to have a whole...
He was just going to be the guy that's essentially the Hulk. And so I was like, okay. Because
but I was amazed when with Dave Bautista because at that point he was like starring in like direct-to-video action movies.
Yeah. I just felt like they just got a guy that like was jacked.
Because it was between him and Jason Momoa.
Yeah, and
Bautista won.
Well, and now we know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
He was great.
Yeah.
He was great in that role.
Like...
And then Vin Diesel's Groot, that was cool.
Yeah, that was an easy one too, because you're just like, oh, he just says, I'm Groot. Okay.
I'm Groot, you listen to his voice, you're like, okay, well that's...
Yeah, so like, I mean...
totally right.
3 parts of the casting, I was like, okay, fine. It was the other ones, you're just like, well, I guess we'll see. Yeah. You know?
Karen Gillan as Nebula, awesome. But again, weird casting.
Weird casting.
Because I'm like, the cute redhead girl from Doctor Who is going to be like the badass Nebula.
I didn't even really watch the seasons that much, so I didn't.
Yeah, I was kind of in and out with that too.
Especially because for me, like coming off of David Tennant, I couldn't get into Matt Smith because like I don't know what it was about David Tennant, but I was like, that's my doctor right there. Mm-hmm. You know, he was so good.
He's just a great actor.
Yeah, Purple Man.
Like friggin' Kilgrave.
Ugh.
Like, we want to talk villains as a whole in the MCU. Well, there's one of your top ones right there.
He's one of the best.
Easily. So creepy. So eerie and creepy.
I like how they handled the rape overtones and undertones without being really in your face about it. Yeah. Because that's such a touchy subject. And, like, we mentioned Kick-Ass 2, and I remember that scene was just, even in the book and in the movie, I was just like, oh, God. Yeah. Why? Why do we have to do this? Why? You know?
At least they didn't show anything in the movie.
No.
Because it was fucking graphic in the comics.
They hint at it heavily.
Yeah.
They
know what's happening.
They pretty much say it without saying it, but they treat it very adult where they're like, it happens. But
it happens.
We don't need to talk about it because it's fucking gross. But anyway, so
we're like, talking cast-wise, Lee Pace was great as Ronan, even though Ronan is a boring villain to me. Like,
And he was more of a good guy in the comic books. He starts off kind of bad, and then
like,
he's kind
I've never been interested in him in the comics.
No.
So I was like,
but then again,
but I was like, maybe I'll feel better about him in the movie because I was never in Iron Man.
We're also talking about Guardians, right? So the Guardians of the Galaxy was
none of them.
You know, like
closest one that I probably ever liked was Drax, because his whole arc in Annihilation against Thanos, that's awesome.
Yeah, and and that was one of the things where when we got closer to it, and I realized that they were mining more of the Annihilation stuff, that I was like, okay, all right, because the Annihilation stuff sounded really cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
You know?
It's a fucking epic.
And I was just like, okay, all right, I can kind of get in this. And then I saw the first trailer, and I remember thinking, like, oh, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
You know, and I was still a little hesitant, and then the second trailer dropped, and I remember being like, yeah, this is actually going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the soundtrack, and even just the scene where, you know, like you said, he's fucking got a Walkman, and he's dancing.
Kicking little fucking
intro,
alien monsters around.
He's got the one, and he's singing into it while it's screaming at him. It's just like, what the fuck?
Those opening credits are so
and
good.
Then you get this one where he's just like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Star-Lord.
Who?
Star-Lord, man. You know? It's like, it immediately goes from, like, Star-Lord to, like, Star-Lord. Like, how do you not know? I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
He gets away, and the chick falls out, and she's like, hey, you know, what's going on? He's just like, I honestly forgot you were still here. So, you know, and that was, so that movie, like, right away, I'm like, okay, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
And special effects, awesome. Everyone in the movie gels so perfectly. Pratt was a standout.
Oh, yeah.
Cause, like,
and that movie made him a star. Instantly a star.
Yeah.
Goes from that to leading Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Which becomes one of the biggest movies in the world.
Exactly.
Like, you're good for life now, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You know? And Drax, we were talking about Dave Bautista, where I thought he was going to be a little bit more of a Hulk character. Wasn't at all.
And again with Bautista. He was doing fucking like Man with the Golden Fist or something.
Yeah.
And then like friggin' some Van Damme movie
Kickboxer.
he was in. Like,
he was in a Kickboxer.
Like he wasn't anything huge, and then he does that, and now all of a sudden he's in Bond and Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. He was really good in Blade Runner.
Oh, he was so good in Blade Runner.
Like I wanted
more of
him
that. Exactly.
Because
I wanted so much more.
Real quick, Blade Runner, long and boringly beautiful movie.
Yes.
It's
pretty much the same as the first movie. Overly long, overly boring, but by God, one of the most beautiful movies you'll ever see.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Although I am glad Shape of Water beat them.
Yeah, me too.
That's just a better movie all around.
Shape of Water is so good. And the see Del Toro up there, I'm so happy for him.
You probably were crying.
I
was misty-eyed.
a little misty-eyed. I honestly was a little misty-eyed. I screamed. I was like, ah! I had a feeling he was going to take Best Director, but I didn't think Shape of Water was taking Best Picture.
Yeah.
So when it took Best Picture, I was like, yes, yes, yes! So happy. I woke Adrian up. She was fine with it. She understood.
Okay, so I guess we'll do the same thing we did with like Winter Soldier. What were the things you liked about Guardians?
Guardians,
so far that we haven't touched upon.
Guardians, I like everything about Guardians pretty much. I mean, the costumes and the fucking character designs. Wow. Like, we're talking like character designs that are on par with Star Wars and Star Trek, maybe even better in some parts. Like, so damn good.
Yeah, the way they did their aliens.
Yeah, the Nova Corps, so cool.
I say Corps.
Corps?
Because it's Marine Corps, you know? It's the Green Lantern Corps. It's not corpse.
Corpse.
It's not bodies.
I'll go corpse.
Oh, I guess it's tomato, right?
As in C-O-R-P-S. Not an E on the end.
Yeah,
they're not dead people.
But when you pronounce it like that...
Corpse.
Yeah.
You know the Nova Corps?
Yeah.
Nova's
the
body.
bodies of Nova.
They're all hanging around. But yeah, no, that was really cool. A little bit of Thanos in there was really cool because I was not expecting that halfway through the movie.
You know what? Seeing the way that you've got Thanos right now, like, yeah, this part does look better, but I liked him in the full-on battle armor.
Me too.
And I don't know why they've got him in this pimp daddy suit.
I know.
You know?
I hate it so much. In fact, I'm excited for Infinity War. Beyond belief excited for it.
I'm trying to temper myself so that I don't walk out of that movie going like, it was not what I expected.
But I've been waiting for this movie since 2012, and it's finally here. And Thanos and the Avengers, none of them look the way they should.
I know, eh? Like, isn't that the weirdest
We have a
thing?
bearded Captain America.
Never mind.
A one-eyed...
Bearded, long-haired, totally blacked-out Captain America suit.
A one-eyed, short-haired Thor.
Right.
A blonde Black Widow.
Yep.
Tony's Tony.
Yeah, well, that's true. Hulk looks generally the same.
Well, except he's he's got the nice styled haircut now from Ragnarok. Oh,
that's right.
Sexy Hulk.
That's right. Yeah, he's got that cropped look or whatever you want to call it. But, yeah.
But I mean, it's finally here, and none of them look. So I'm like, but I'm still pumped.
Hell, even Spider-Man's wearing the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah, God, I hate that suit so much.
I know, so do I. Like a lot of people are just like, man,
Spider-Man
it's so
suit
great.
ever.
And I'm just like, no, it's not.
It's like I would have much rather seen the symbiote.
And here's the thing, I'm a stickler. Like I actually thought like when you change the costumes too much, Spider-Man's one of those ones where you don't really need to change it. But the way he looks in Homecoming, I thought looked great. Even just with the extra black little linings and stuff like that, I thought turned out really good.
I wish Marvel would have been like, hey, listen, Sony, can you hold off on Venom for one more year? Because Spidey's going to find the symbiote while fighting Thanos. Were
you let down by that trailer?
Not really. I wasn't expecting to see Venom in the first trailer.
I'm not. That's not the part that lets me down. Because it's a teaser.
It's a teaser.
Venom in the
teasers are always quick little.
You don't do that.
Throwaway.
It's
thing.
everything else. Everything else.
It doesn't really show you anything. Like
it does nothing.
It doesn't even say the title. It just like puts a V up there, and everyone's like V.
Yeah, vagina.
V. So Tom Hardy is in this movie V. But Marvel is part of it because it said Marvel at the beginning. We know that. We're gonna watch it now.
Yeah. See, like
I can't wait for Marvel Presents V.
It does nothing to make me want to see it, and I like it. I love Tom Hardy.
I think it's gonna be fucking awesome though.
I hope so.
I do. I think it will be.
I hope so.
Hardy's a great actor. I think Sony has learned from Spider-Man 3 what to do with Venom.
I hope so. I hope so.
That's what I think. Michelle Williams is in it. She's really good at picking good movies to star in.
That is true.
I don't think she would read a script and go,
I did perk up and go, oh my god.
Well, if she's interested, you know, so we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so
back to Guardians.
Yeah, back to Guardians real quick. Well, not real quick. We'll take our time. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. The only thing about I love the whole movie. The whole movie. The only thing that I like, but I don't like is the dance off with Ronan. It's hilarious, but it's like Ronan, you know, if he's supposed to be this serious big badass guy, he wouldn't just be like, "What are you doing? What is happening?" You know?
Yeah. You know, he threw him off though.
Yeah, he threw him off. Any real like warlord would be like, "What are you doing?" Well, he died.
Yeah,
he'd be dead.
I don't know. Like I still like it. I still like it in the sense where it's not what you expected.
No,
because you expected all of them to come together, kick the fuck out of him, and anyone else that shows up.
True, it's totally not what I expected.
You know,
and at this rate,
it's like the Doctor Strange ending.
Yeah.
Where you think it's going to be just like all the other endings, and it isn't at all.
No.
You know.
Instead, it's Spawn.
Yeah, but still, you know, not quite.
But we'll get to Doctor Strange.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, they did so much good with that I was like, I can't get over how well the movie is, how well done it is. Mm-hmm. And that's another one where, like, I don't want to say you take out all the Guardian Galaxy elements. Like, I mean, it's really just a space movie. So, like, if you like space movies, if you're, like, into Star Wars or Star Trek, you're probably going to like this movie.
It's not a superhero movie.
No.
Nothing about that movie feels like a Marvel comic book.
Yeah, and I do like how they play it, that these guys are ultimately good guys, but they're not necessarily going to do the right thing the right way. They're going to, you know, they're mercenaries.
Yeah.
You know, they're heroes for hire, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
I loved the stuff with the Nova Corps. I liked that one.
Yeah.
How, like, it's an actual corps of, like, a police force, essentially.
Yep. And
the fact that they got largely decimated towards the end of that movie really kind of brings me to hope that they're going to introduce Nova, period. You know? I don't see them doing it because they've got Captain Marvel coming up.
I think we're waiting. I think he might pop up in Phase 4.
I hope so.
Maybe.
But it's
a maybe. Eventually, they're going to have to move on to their C-D-list characters, and because the big guns are retiring.
That's right.
They're going away.
That's right.
So,
you know, yeah, for me, there was nothing that I didn't like about this movie aside from Ronan being a real, like, they do a good job of building him up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like when he gets out of that tub thing, he's put on the mate. Oh, that's a really cool scene.
It's a cool scene, and you're really just like, and like you feel like he's, you know, that purist religious nut that's taking it too far, and you're like, okay, like those guys are scary. Just in real life, when you run across somebody who's super religious, you're kind of afraid of them because you're like, I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do, and tie it into your religion. Oh, I did that. Yeah, I killed him, but God told me to. You know, that's scary shit, right?
Yeah.
But then, yeah, like, I agree with the dancing. I liked it because it's different, but you're right. Like, it is a letdown because you think, ho, 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 ho.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
Like, it's funny.
You know. It's
but I don't mind it because Guardians was the first movie like this. It did its own thing. It's like, no, we are this. We are not those movies.
Exactly.
We're not copying anything
and
those movies did.
Another thing I really liked was, is it music cold in here?
No.
Oh, okay. Then it must be just me.
Your nipples aren't showing through yet. You're okay.
Oh, well then, sweet. Yeah.
Should we talk about Winter? You know what it is? You got all heated up over Winter Soldier, and now that we're done, you're cooling
like,
off.
I was all like, really psyched up. But like, I remember like coming off of Guardians and just being like, well, now I want to see them interact with all the other characters. You know, because they're all distinct. And the other thing I like too is because we keep talking about this, and the longer these movies go, we get into the template stuff. We're talking about, well, now there's an Iron Man template in Spider-Man. Yeah. And now there's a Guardians template in Thor Ragnarok, right? Well, there was no template for this. And the characters themselves aren't like, there isn't a Captain America character. There isn't an Iron Man character. They're all just their own characters, you know? And they each have their own stories, which I thought was really neat. But and none of it feels forced. Like, it's not just like, oh, we all have the common enemy, so I guess we're buddies now. Yeah. It was just like, Groot and Rocket, they're buddies. They're mercenaries. They just happen to get arrested because they were trying to get, you know, the orb from Star-Lord and Gamora, and then Drax is there, and then finally they're like, well, we kind of have to work together to get off this place, and they all kind of want to fuck Ronan up, right? But even the stuff where people say things like, well, how does he get batteries for the Walkman? I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
he's in space.
I listened to that, and then I was like,
he's in space. He could have figured something out.
He could fucking pick a rock up with some crazy asteroid and just throw it in there.
He could literally talk to an alien that's been on Earth and go like, hey man, can you do something about this? Yeah. And then they go, yeah, there you go, unlimited supply.
I mean, they're flying around spaceships. I think they can figure it out.
Is actually really touching. I really liked that they gave him such a heartfelt story. Yeah. You know, because you kind of now understand why he's being sort of this aloof slut. You know? Yeah. You know, like he's Captain Kirk, but dialed up, right? So you get all that. I like how they kind of sort of tease a relationship with Gamora, but they don't really go full bore right away. Even just Drax's story, where he's just like
his family and
like Rocket.
Rocket's is really sad.
Rocket's the worst story out of
really
all of
sad.
Them, you know, and he's still like really cool. And then Groot, like, you know.
Can I just go to Groot for a second here and
Please
say that the end where he saves him made me cry like a baby.
Man, that was amazing. That's absolutely
he raps over
amazing.
and Tyler Bates' score playing. Okay, Tyler Bates does all James Gunn's movies, right?
Oh yeah.
Guitarist of Marilyn Manson.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did
not know. The guy that did Guardians of the Galaxy score is the guitarist of Marilyn Manson.
Probably another reason why I've always been a Marilyn Manson fan.
Yeah.
Because
how interesting is that?
Yeah, that's actually really interesting.
But the music he played, and then the lights floating around him, and
We Are Groot.
We Are Groot. Oh man! And even now, it's making me emotional.
And those sticklers too, where they're just like, all he says is "I am Groot," and then he says "We are Groot." It's like, well, then he doesn't always say "I am Groot." I'm like, yeah, but who cares? Yeah, that was a beautiful scene.
So good,
you know. And then Rocket at the end with the stick. Yeah, you know, because his best friend is gone, and he doesn't want to admit that he misses his best friend, that he loved his best friend. Yeah, and that hesitant sort of like. Just kind of pets him, you know, and you're just like, oh my god, like this is so crazy. And then Baby Groot,
do a little dance.
You know, they get the pardons. I love when they get the pardons. At the end, they get the pardons, and then it's just like, so what do you want to do? Something good? Something bad? maybe a little something of both. I was like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mean, and I felt like it was great to follow up Winter Soldier with first of all, an excellent palate cleanser, because this had no ties.
Yeah.
You had this world-changing movie that's pretty heavy, and it doesn't really end on a positive note. Then you have this movie that's lighthearted. There are stakes, but it's not as heavy. Like, I mean, yeah, the fate of the galaxy is at stake, you know what I mean? Like, those are pretty high stakes.
Yeah.
But they play it for laughs, but it's still serious enough that you care about all these characters. You care that stuff's going to happen. Like, even the scene where Star-Lord like jumps out of his pod to save Gamora and gives her his face mask thing, and then you see him like freezing up. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's so many cool things about this movie. So great palate cleanser, and also one of the best movies in the lineup.
Easily.
Like, yeah.
And that's both Guardians movies. We'll get to the second eventually.
Yeah.
Like James Gunn had a big job ahead of him to follow up that one.
Yeah.
And he did good.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So because of Guardians of the Galaxy, now I'm no longer as hesitant with these weird movies. Like when they announced Ant-Man.
Again, I was hesitant though. But that was more or less because of the problems that came with the production of that one.
And I was hesitant for those reasons, but I remember, like, we both said, yeah, but look at Guardians.
Yeah.
Guardians was now the scapegoat, so to speak, where even with Doctor Strange, where I was like, I probably would never have said, let's do a Doctor Strange movie, but you know what? Guardians, Ant-Man.
I'll give it a shot.
Let's do it.
Right, and that's how, like, the characters I loved growing up.
I said the same thing about Black Panther.
Me too.
I said the exact same thing.
Me too.
I
was like, Black Panther comes out.
But you know what? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Panther's out next month. I totally forgot. It looks all right. And then I watched it. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I gotta go see it with
my dad.
You
haven't seen it?
No.
Okay.
I gotta see it with my dad.
I'm watching it again too, so we should definitely talk about that one. So.
Oh yeah, we definitely will talk about that one.
Yes.
So overall, great movie.
Great movie.
It's real quick. Actually, I'm gonna say this: the part where he gets him to take his leg. And then later on, it's just like, I need you to get this guy's eye. Like, what was the look on his face when he took his leg? I was like, oh my god.
I didn't need that. I just want to see you do it.
And then later when he says the eye thing, and you're just like, oh my god. So good.
Oh, man.
I've been waiting the whole time. I keep forgetting to mention that. I just love the fact he's like, I can't believe you did that. And he's just like killing himself because it's the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Oh.
All right. So here it is.
The finale of Phase 2.
It all comes down to this.
Age of Ultron.
That is correct. Yep.
There it is.
Right out of the gates, I hated that they went with Ultron.
Yeah.
Even when they announced Age of Ultron, I was like, it's a cool title. But Ultron's one of those bad guys that they didn't have to go to right away.
No, he's a big one.
I think it's only up until the actual Age of Ultron where, as of right now, he's no longer in existence.
Yeah.
They've written him out of existence. If I remember correctly, he's completely done.
I believe so. Because
Ultron was always, you could never really destroy him. His AI would always find a way to get into bigger, badder.
Yeah, exactly. It just hops
constantly
around.
Upgrading.
Yeah.
And like, he's the kind of villain where, I guess, and right away I'm going to just say, they kill him off at the end of the movie. I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm like, yeah, but they didn't have to kill him off. You could have left it where he's out there somewhere. You know what I mean?
You could have. Well, I mean, we're going to talk about the movie, but, like...
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck that they killed him off because I hated the way he was played in that
movie. Oh yeah. At the beginning, when it was just James Spader being like James Spader,
creepy, like doing the fucking Pinocchio rhyming and shit.
Yeah,
there is
no strings on me.
I was like, ooh.
And the looks on their faces were like, holy shit! And he's just like mangled up.
Yeah, just
suit.
Yeah,
you know, like he's that robot suit. So that was one of the things that I've kept saying this is that, like, in the comic books, anytime Ultron shows up, it's holy fuck.
Yeah.
All hands on deck. Ultron is fucking things up. Everybody, reserve Avengers. Get those new trainees out there. everyone, and nobody's joking around. They're serious. We might die. We probably will die. We have to stop them.
Right.
So you get that right at the beginning, and then you don't get that for the rest of the movie.
No, but I mean, like, in the comic books, he's created by Hank Pym, who's a totally different character from Tony Stark.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I'm fine with the creation of Ultron.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll do this really quick. I'm gonna start off just because the beginning sequence is awesome, except for when Tony Stark says shit, and Cap goes language.
Oh, yeah.
That always bugs me. It bugs me so badly because in the Cap movies, you know, he's calling them bastards and so. Even in Avengers, he says "light the bastards up." Like, that's a swear.
Yeah.
You know, but then they say shit, and he's like language. And
I thought I liked it at first because I was like, that's a good joke.
It was funny at first, but later on, it was just like, oh.
But then it goes on the whole movie.
Yeah, it's like, okay, guys, like, come on now. Yeah. Like, the intro was amazing.
The intro was so good.
And one of my favorite parts about the whole intro was because they kept jumping in and around, everybody getting in their action beats, and then all of a sudden it's just like, sun's getting low, big guy, you know? And she's doing that, like, she starts to corral Hulk in, and I was just like, I loved that. I thought that was an awesome way to later seed the potential relationship in the movie. I thought that was great, and I know a lot of people are like, I didn't see it, I didn't like it. I thought it was great, but
I fucking hate that. It is so forced. She doesn't mention Bruce Banner once in Winter Soldier, and all of a sudden now they're potential lovers.
My argument with that would be, but after Winter Soldier, they go crazy smashing Hydra.
Yeah. Like,
it's like they make Avengers, the beginning of Avengers, feel Age of Ultron, feel like it was Winter Soldier. And then Cap went, okay, guys, we gotta fuck these guys up. We gotta destroy every inch of Hydra, okay? Wolfgang Strucker, worst villain. He's the worst villain. Because he creates the specials and that's it.
Can we talk about for a second here how Winter Soldier ends with fucking Washington going to hell? Dark World is London getting destroyed, you know? With
that monster still running around.
Right. And the other Avengers are not in those movies.
Nope.
Yet they assemble themselves to go after Strucker at the beginning of this one.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get, because Iron Man could have flown in here himself and blew shit up.
Yeah, and we talked about this before. There's plenty of times where you're just like, well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You know, like...
I mean...
and those were, like, once the phases get big enough, with enough movies where I can't help but go, well, wait a minute, because even in the comic books, when Spider-Man's world gets too big, other guys show up and they're like, hey man, do you need a hand? You know, like Cap will show up or Daredevil will show up. You know, even Punisher will stop by and be like, hey, I could totally kill these guys for you. And it's like, no, I got this. Like, even just something like that, and then you can go, okay, alright.
I would like to see more of that in Phase 4.
Yeah.
Going forward, just like little cameo appearances.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a tag team movie. Just something, even if it's like a fucking phone call. Hey, in the area, do you need a hand? No, I got this. Are you sure? Yeah. I'm here if you need me.
Exactly. At this rate, we have dozens upon dozens of heroes in this Marvel universe. They would crisscross at times.
They don't need to trip over themselves, but at the same time,
make
it a little bit more believable. But,
exactly.
The Wolfgang thing, I felt like they could have done more with him.
Yeah.
But...
it was just there to introduce Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
That's right.
That's the only reason that was
yeah, no, I get it. I did like how, you know, you start to see the other side of the world kind of going like, yeah, we don't like the Avengers. You know, because, I mean, if you think about it, Avengers does represent sort of that American style of like, we'll save the world, we don't care how you choose to live your lives. If we think you're doing it wrong, we're going to step in and just fix it, right?
Yeah.
Which, and I liked that they were subtly going that route by saying, like, yeah, not everyone's a fan of you guys, right? And I mentioned, like, in the, previously, like, leading up to Civil War, the character arc with Cap, everything that happens to him and where he ends up all makes sense. And this is where you start to see all the stuff that's happened to Tony.
Yeah.
And now you start to see, like, when he goes, I want to make a suit of armor for the world, you go, okay. All right, so naturally he would say, "Hey, Banner, you know, what about the what was the original? Was it the Ultron Protocol? Was it called that?
Yeah, I think it was Protocol.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Initiative?
I
think Protocol.
I want to say Protocol.
I think it was Protocol.
But anyway, regardless, the whole point of Ultron was to be the suit around the world.
Yeah.
To protect the world so that they didn't have to, you know, because he didn't want anyone else to die because, you know, he couldn't save them or whatever. So now everyone's saved, right? So, and it makes sense. And I liked that they used the Infinity Stone to grant him life.
Yep.
Which was great. I was like, yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. And it ties it in. And that's pretty much it about what I like about the Ultron stuff. Visually, he looked amazing.
Visually, he's awesome.
Except that his mouth moved like a person's mouth.
That was weird.
Yeah. You didn't need to have lips.
That was the later version, right?
The later version, yeah.
I loved right after the twisted one.
Yeah.
That version right after, that looked most comic accurate.
That's right. I liked that. Like even when he had the red cloak on him, and it was a nod to his first appearance, as when he was the Crimson something or other.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that was kind of a neat little nod. Not that I knew that at the time. I just thought it looked cool. I found it afterwards. He was the Crimson something or other. That was his superhero name. But visually he looks cool, and there's something creepy about a badass robot that's speaking to you like a human, and his mouth doesn't move.
Mm-hmm.
That would fuck anybody up.
Yeah.
But then to see it have lips, it was kind of like, it was just like the Ninja Turtles with lips, where you're just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oof, you know?
Thanks, Michael Bay.
But for me, it was less creepy and more like, it just kind of looked stupid.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But there were flashes of really cool stuff with him. But when he would do stuff like, what's that thing that's called? Oh, yeah, a baby. You know, when it became James Spader doing Tony Stark, or doing Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, then it was me going, he should have been more of a straight, like, robot
Just
villain.
horrifying.
Just a robot villain where, like, when he sits there and goes like, yeah, well, I realized that the only way to protect the Earth is to kill everyone on it.
Yeah.
Now I can protect the Earth. Like, it's a misunderstanding of the protocol, you know? Like, they took the programming to the most literal degree. We're gonna save the world.
Yeah.
To do so, we gotta get rid of the humans. Check. That's it. Okay. You know? But then the whole giant meteor thing was a really dumb plan.
Yep.
Like, it just made no sense that was what he was gonna do to destroy the Earth.
And what are we gonna do it with? Some crappy city over in
yeah, like we're
why
gonna.
wouldn't you do like Manhattan?
We're gonna do a Whedon thing where just this, where like but fuck it, San. If you wanna say something,
but fuck it.
you wanna be really prickish about it.
Sokovia.
Yeah, Sokovia.
Sokovia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
That was like.
I'm so disappointed in the Age of Ultron, man.
Especially because, remember too, because there was all that talk about, because this is after Man of Steel, right?
Yeah.
So Man of Steel, like, billions of people were dead, and fuck Superman, and all this stuff, and the DC movies are horrible because they kill all these people. They don't talk about how many people die in Avengers, and we touched upon this in Phase 1. A lot of people die in Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? I'm gonna say their death toll's about the same.
Right.
Okay? Yeah, you see a lot of them being helped by the Avengers, but there's no evacuations.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, I said this in the last one. Aliens show up at Thunder Bay. I'm out. I'm not waiting to find out if they're cool or not.
I'm going to nip again.
It's literally just like in the middle of the forest, just waiting until either they come and find me, or someone goes, Chris, they're cool. Okay, then I'm back. Cool, but anyway, so visually, at one point, he looked awesome. And right at the beginning, he sounded awesome. And then after that, I didn't like it at all.
No.
It was no longer menacing. He was too busy. Like, even at one point, he's just like, I guess we're going to have to fight. You know? And you're like...
Yeah, it's that Whedon-esque... And, okay, I love Joss Whedon, just so we know. I mean, got Buffy and Angel up there on my shelf.
Yeah, probably no less.
Fucking love those shows. And Avengers 1 is awesome, minus the TV show at the beginning of it.
Yeah, the TV setup.
But he went too Whedon-esque in this movie. Like, I get the same feeling watching this movie that I do from Ragnarok. Like, quarter to halfway through, I'm just like, okay, the jokes are too much now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even laughing.
Well, to be fair, with Ragnarok, anytime it was Kirk, he cracked me up all the way through.
Kirk was hilarious.
Like, he could have been in the beginning, all the way through. He could have been in every fucking scene. Yeah. And I would not have been like, okay. But
we didn't have 4 movies of Kirk prior where he was a serious fucking guy.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, yeah.
All of a sudden, it's just like, you can't take my hair. Yeah. Like screaming like a girl.
Yeah.
Like a girl, not like a feminine man. You know? Like
oh man. Oh fuck.
That's the first big thing that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Cause it starts off really good, and I was already hesitant to begin with, because like I said right at the beginning of this sequence, I was like, he was one where I'm like, you could have saved him. You could have saved him for after Thanos, you know? You could have done him here, and then brought him back later on after Thanos. Doesn't have to be the next movie afterwards, but now you can get him into like bigger, badder, scarier.
Yeah, I would have saved Ultron. They were gonna. The movie after this one introduces Hank Pym. For God's sakes, I mean, they could have saved Ultron.
They could have.
They could have fought Kang in this.
They could have.
Kang could have been.
But I think Kang is going to be in the Avengers 4.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling
somehow, because, well, I don't want to speculate too much, but
yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
That's right. But so that's the first thing that I didn't like, and I wanted to. I really wanted to.
Yeah, especially after the first trailer. Like, I wasn't like Ultron, and then they did that first trailer,
the No Strings on Me.
No Strings, and it was so eerie and creepy. Oh. I was just like, I got goosebumps, man. Yeah, I was like, okay, this is creepy.
And even when I watch the movie again, that scene still gets me. Like, and it's great because they're at this party, like they smashed Hydra. They're all having fun.
Playing with the hammer.
You get that first hint of Black Widow having a thing for Bruce Banner. And even then, the only thing that I thought was really weird was like when Kat goes like, oh, you should. She's a good girl. You know? For some reason, Bruce, like, Whedon had Bruce kind of think like, did something happen between you two?
Yeah.
Like, why would you say that type of thing? And I remember right away going like, "That, what do you need that for?"
Yeah.
You know, especially because we just talked about how in Winter Soldier, I just got like she just wanted him to like her and to respect her, right? Because even at the end of the movie when she says, "Okay, you know, fine, like I'm gonna out myself," right?
Yep.
And you know, and he's just like, "That's my partner," type of thing, right? But the party scene was. Like, it was weird because I never thought that they would have like a party to celebrate smashing Hydra, but it was kind of cool because you'd never seen anything like that sort of thing.
Yeah, because at this rate, they're friends.
Yeah, they're friends, and as far as they're concerned, they've saved the world. That's right. You know, but the hammer scene was awesome.
The hammer scene was so great, and the fact that they teased Cap.
That's right.
And that I'll never see that come to fruition now.
Yeah, exactly.
Again.
Fruition.
That one. I know, I realized that after it.
Fruitation.
Fruitation.
You know, frutation's a word.
It is a word, but not the one I was going for. We'll never see Cap fucking in a garden, man.
Well, no, we won't see Cap with the hammer because my gut tells me that what Thor's going to have now is the ultimate hammer.
Yeah, he's going to have the ultimate hammer.
The hammer axe or whatever.
Doesn't have the same... I envisioned this in my mind that Thanos takes down Thor and Cap picks up that hammer.
Picks it up.
Grabs the hammer
just and their pants
Cap and Thanos.
He's worthy.
Yeah.
You know, and especially because like in the comic books, he's picked it up a couple times. It's not a one-shot deal. He's picked it up, and they have like lines where they say the gods measure courage based on Captain America.
Yeah. That's
how revered this human is in the Marvel Universe. That gods, you know, Asgardians are literally like, well, are you Captain America? Are you courageous like him? You're not? See you later.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, but the little shake, and it didn't have to be anything crazy, just that little shake.
That little shake, just see
and
Thor's
face. And the look on Thor's face where he's just like, what? What just happened here?
Yeah.
You know? That was a really good scene, and then like it immediately led into that No Strings on Me scene, which is great, and it was just that awesome juxtaposition where you went from like, woo, yeah, we did it, guys, to, oh shit, there's something else, and then immediately it's just like everyone's just like, what did you do, Tony? Like, everyone's mad at him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, but this is what I wanted to do. And it's like, you're fucking playing God. Like, Thor's got him by the throat, and Captain America's pissed.
Yeah.
You know, and even Banner's kind of like, you kind of made me do it. You know, and it's like, they all just kind of turn against him, but you see why he did it. You know, you get it. You know,
you get
it's
it.
just like,
you see both sides of the story. Yeah,
it just didn't work out the way you wanted it to. I mean, everyone. You know what? I gotta touch upon the farm scene, just because the farm scene gets a lot of heat. I loved the farm scene.
I enjoy the farm scene.
I loved the farm scene. The only thing that I didn't like about the farm scene really was you kind of had that weird sort of one-upmanship where they're like, Tony's chopping wood for no reason, and then he and Cap are kind of like, well, you know, what you did was wrong, and Iron Man's like, I didn't really see it like that, and then they get a little heated, and Cap like rips it apart, and you're like, that's cool, but then that's it. It's just like, well, I guess we better go fight Ultron.
Yeah.
You know, and they made it sound like this movie was going to tease into Civil War. Not that they were calling it Civil War, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were hinting that something like that was coming.
You knew something was coming between the two.
Because originally, Cap 3 was, they were talking about something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying they were hinting at like a backup Captain America. So when Captain America was on ice, one of the other like stand-ins, and that was going to be Captain America versus his Dark Mirror type of thing.
Right.
You know, but even just having the signs of a split teased, I thought was kind of cool, but it just seemed weird that it was like, oh, I don't know if we can do this anymore. And it's like, let's fight Ultron, and then it's high fives all over, and everyone's fine, and nobody ever says anything like, hey, Tony, what about your arc reactor? What about you quitting being Iron Man? Like, they don't even reference it. Like, they don't say, well, I'm back because of Hydra. You know? So, again, Iron Man 3, no stakes, no nothing. It just happened.
Yep.
This movie, no stakes at all. There's no stakes, no lasting ramifications at all.
Well, the Sokovia thing kind of leads into Civil War.
That's right, that's right.
So we have that.
That is the one thing that leads into it.
Yeah.
That's it. This whole big, huge...
That is it, yeah.
Should have been a game-changing movie.
And, well, I guess, it sends Hulk off into space, which leads to Ragnarok.
Well, at the time...
But that's not a stake, right?
We didn't really know that.
We didn't know that.
Until they finally just went, oh, no, yeah, he's in space.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of do Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
With Thor. You know.
Why not?
But, like, Cap's story arc I thought was really good in it. Like I said, like Thor was really good in it. Like, everyone's really good in the movies because now at this point they're like comfortable enough in their roles that they can do whatever. But getting back to the camp or the farm scene,
yep, I
liked that it was just right in the middle, and it was just sort of a breather because they all just got their asses handed to them. Hulk went on that rampage, and even though I kind of rolled my eyes at, okay, we have another hero versus hero battle, it was still awesome.
Well, they had to have that hero versus hero battle to introduce Hulkbuster. I mean, that was the only...
Yeah, but...
And Hulkbuster is going to be used, obviously, in...
But, I mean, I know they want to sell toys. I know they want to sell toys.
And a lot of toys were sold with that movie.
You know, and I get that, but it's, like, I don't know. I liked that they fleshed out Hawkeye. Like, even just, they had the phone calls, and he's like, who's he talking to? And he's like, no, nobody wrong.
Because up to that point, I was wondering where Hawkeye was during all of Phase 2. Like, why wouldn't he be part of Winter Soldier as well?
All aside from the deleted scene.
Right. But I was kind of thinking, like, you know...
Right.
You think he would have been around during these kind of events.
And,
oh, he has a family, okay.
You know, plus, like, I like her. She's a good actress.
Yes.
And they had a really good chemistry, and it just kind of... Like, you got the sense that he was like a police officer, you know, and she got that. She's like, you know, like, I get it. You're going to have to go and do this, even though I don't want you to. Mm-hmm. But, you know, and it's cute to see that he was a family man. Yeah. You know, it was a different side of the Hawkeye character that you almost never see. Yeah. You know? Ultimate, he was a family man, but they all ended up getting killed, didn't they? Yeah. I think so. But then again... It's been a while, yeah. But Ultimate Hawkeye was killing people with his nails, right? Yeah. Yeah, so it's like... He was Bullseye.
He was Bullseye.
He was Bullseye. That's right. I remember when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," but that's Bullseye. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I liked that. I didn't like the the weirdo images that Scarlet Witch was giving them, like their preferred reality.
Oh yeah, on the
I thought that was
scene.
kind of cool. That was kind of cool, and it was a great way to sort of lead into Hulk rampaging, right? But the whole pool scene where Thor goes in and he starts to see like even Hemdale is like, yeah, everything's all fucked up here and whatnot. It's coming. That kind of this whole huge foretelling of something bad. I was like, I know the studio fought really hard to get that scene in there, and I was like, but why? Like, it didn't need to be there. It just seemed like another thing for Thor to do, just so it didn't look like he was standing around.
Yeah.
You know.
He had nothing to do during that time.
You know, instead of like just kind of sending them off to just, I don't know, see Jane or just something, you know. But whatever. It felt like a lot of these things just sort of happened with no real reason until you get to the point where Ultron's making the human body, or the simulated human body, like the Vision body,
right?
And that I thought was really cool, you know what I mean? And using that as a way to be more human.
Mm-hmm.
Weird when you really think about it, though. It seemed like it's weird that like that would be his ultimate body that looked more human than anything.
Yeah.
But really cool, and then I liked how, again, they were using the Life Stone for that purpose.
Yep. That
was really cool, and I really liked how eventually Jarvis took over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. And now you got Paul Bettany.
And now you got Paul Bettany, and then that scene with the hammer, where it's just like, you need this, and you're like, at first I was like, it's so stupid that Vision got it before Cap, but then I was like, that still is really awesome, though.
But then I read a really good point the other day on the internet where they were talking about, earlier in the movie where they're joking about if the hammer's in an elevator and the hammer goes up, is the elevator worthy?
Yeah.
Right? Well, it's a machine, right? Well, Vision's a machine. He's not...
Right.
Right. So he's not essentially worthy. He's just not human.
That's right.
So...
Because it is a measure of worth, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But still, it looked visually awesome.
Visually,
because it's like one scene, and then it's just like, you need this. And everyone's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Right? And then the final fight scene.
That chaotic fight scene.
The initial one where they're fighting tons of junior Ultrons.
Where they're all just running in.
I was like, I've seen that before, and I was disappointed by that. But the last one when they're all kind of fighting him, I thought was really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like that circular shot.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like right after when Pietro gets killed.
Which was very shocking.
Didn't see that coming at all.
Did not see that
coming. And it gets a lot of flack, but I thought it worked really well. I thought it was
It worked
cool.
well. It pushes Scarlet Witch forward.
Yeah, and like when she just went
and
nuts.
She is so good as Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen, such a good actress.
Yeah, really good. Like, I mean, again, it's the same thing I've said before. Like, everyone does a really good job. It's just this movie wasn't that good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, our expectations are really high, but we're now far enough removed where now our expectations aren't high. It's just we've watched enough times where we can really go, yeah, all right, so this is why I didn't feel like, whoa.
Yeah.
This was why I felt like, okay, so that happened, but then as we're talking about it, I've said a couple of times, it happened, but nothing really ever happens.
Right.
You had Quicksilver. He's killed.
Yeah.
Okay, and it pushes her character forward. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
You kind of teased dissension between everybody, but by the end of the movie, they're all high-fiving anyway.
Yep.
I will say it was awesome to have Cap and Black Widow training the new recruits, because that last shot was really cool.
Yes.
That was really cool, and I remember just being like, okay, all right, this is nice.
The new Avengers. I like that. Yeah.
And then, because you needed more blood, because later on, once they finally said, okay, so Cap 3 is going to be Civil War, then you're like, okay, we do have enough to kind of do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but to end the phase on a nothing movie.
Yeah.
You know, and even to say, like, the Avengers follow-up is a nothing movie is a weird thing to say.
It's so disappointing.
Like,
I mean,
I should not be saying
the Avengers is an event. You know,
if I'm saying that's a nothing movie, you should be going, whoa, easy, Chris, or vice versa. I should be like, hey, Jesus, Ken, like, come on now. But we're just kind of like,
it's a nothing movie.
You know,
it was disappointing.
It made Vision, and it led into. But see, the Sokovia stuff. This is all after the fact, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't until later on that, like when Batman v Superman was announced, that they went, oh, we got Civil War.
Yeah.
You know, they tied it in perfectly. I'll give them nothing but credit for that. But like I said right early on, it was originally going to be Cap versus like a rogue Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I almost want to say they probably would have went the John Walker route, like U.S. Agent, where he was the Cap that killed.
Yep.
You know, but as soon as Batman v Superman hit, and they were like, oh, we're doing Civil War. And it's coming out the same year.
Yeah.
It's going to come out
about
a month after.
I was like, whoa, yeah. Robert Downey Jr. signed on. He's in it.
He's in it.
And then it was just like, oh, this guy's in. It's Avengers. Oh, and by the way, we got Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What the frick?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. You
know. So yeah, overall, that is Phase 2. I really got nothing to add to Age of Ultron. I was just disappointed with it.
Yeah.
I like the new additions, but like you said, there's no real stakes. It is a throwaway movie.
It is so
it's 100%
a throwaway movie.
Number 1 is setting up Thanos. Number 3 is the end with Thanos, and this was just a middle thing to split up the phases.
That's all it was. It was literally just because we said we're going to do Infinity War in movie 3.
Yeah.
So we're just doing this to do this, you know? And I think this is also the first time where I started to kind of go, I don't know about Whedon. I don't know if Whedon should be on these big, huge tentpole movies.
It made me doubt that he should be playing in other guys' sandboxes, because he's amazing with his own characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Firefly, Serenity, you know, Dollhouse. He does great stuff with his own stuff. Comic books, Astonishing X-Men is one of the best X-Men runs ever.
And that's the main reason why when they said he was on Avengers, we were like,
yes,
boom, like Boner City.
And you know what?
Which is crazy.
And he pulled it off with Avengers. Avengers is fucking amazing.
Absolutely did. It started off really hokey, but it ends up like it. Yeah. Once you get past that beginning, and then you start getting into the introductions of the characters,
right?
Then it just takes off, and it's just
as soon as you see them beside each other for the first time.
Yeah.
Like,
or fuck, like at the end of the movie where they're all just right on Loki. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know? But Avengers 2 and...
Avengers 2, I feel like they threw an offer at him. They said, we want Ultron. I feel like he really had no say in any of it.
Yeah. I feel that way too.
And because he had no say in it, his heart wasn't in it.
Yeah, and I can kind of see that too, because like it does really feel like this is a studio movie.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a while, like, I mean, I know like studio movies happened forever, like since the beginning of movies.
Hell yeah.
But nowadays, it's just like all of a sudden it's a committee movie where they're just like, yeah, we need all this stuff, and like comic book fans are going like, we don't really need to, like, we don't need to spaghetti this. We don't need to throw everything at and see what sticks. But I do think that they've learned their lesson after Avengers 2, though. You know, because we start seeing, and, you know, we'll get to, like, the next phase, but, like, Guardians 2, you know, didn't feel like a committee movie. Nope. Civil War is a committee movie, but they got the right guys to do it, though.
Right. Yeah.
It's a committee movie because, like, we just finished saying, like, Batman v Superman was announced, and then it was like, we got Civil War. We got Civil War.
We're doing it too!
The greatest comic book event ever.
Yeah.
The one that made us the most money. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to do that in a movie.
Yeah.
And remember how awesome Winter Soldier was? The same guys are doing this one.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get those guys to do Avengers 3. So, you know, we're kind of like, all right, okay. And it feels like as much as we talk, or we've heard about how there's a really tight rein in Marvel, I feel like there's some loosening happening.
There is obviously. I don't know what it is. I think that Kevin, what is his last name?
Feige?
I don't think it's like Feige or something though. Feige.
We're trying to say everything except saying fag. That's the only pronunciation.
They're not saying that.
We're not gonna do, even though I did it just to clarify.
But we will go, okay, beige is written the same way, so phage.
Yeah.
Kevin Phage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know where the hell I was going with this now.
Well, because
okay.
he outlined everything, right?
I think he saw, he got these indie guys to come on, right? At first, he was going after some bigger directors.
Yeah.
Right? Kenneth Branagh, he's a big director. He's
Yeah.
big on for Thor.
And then it was largely a snooze fest.
Yeah.
For me.
So, but yeah, so they get guys like James Gunn in there.
Yeah.
An indie guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see Guardians just like, boom.
Yeah.
Made a ton of money. Critical acclaim.
Yeah, well, even the Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers, they're like sitcom guys.
How I Met Your Mother.
Was it? I think no, it was Community or Parks and Rec. I don't think it was How I Met Your Mother.
I'm almost certain it was How I Met Your Mother.
You gotta go to the phone for this one.
Sorry, guys, I was doing good. And
He's doing no, that's fine. I think it's Parks and Rec. But yeah, no, they are comedy sitcom guys. So it was a very weird choice for Winter Soldier, and not like Ant-Man or something.
Jeez.
With the fat thumbs, right?
No.
Autocorrect.
Russo brothers. Wikipedia. Oh, okay. Arrested Development.
Yeah.
And Community.
Community. Okay, so what's Community?
That's right.
All right.
Anyway, that was a huge surprise, but then you watch Winter Soldier, and then you're like, okay, all right.
Okay, well, these guys can do anything.
Yeah.
So give them everything.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, like, I mean, yeah, I guess it's one of those where we need everything to be a certain way, and then with Avengers 2, I feel like they kind of went, because they got a lot of flack for it, too. Because it's not like they went, well, Whedon, you're being a little bitch. They were like, whoa, it's Whedon. Why would you do that? How could you lose him? Yeah. And then they started going, okay, well, like, look at all the other movies that we've been able to do, like Guardians, Winter Soldier, and even Ragnarok, like, we'll get onto those ones. But again, like, we keep saying template, but there's a template in place now for all the newer movies. There
is. And, like, I just heard Captain Marvel's going to be an action comedy.
I know, I heard that, and I was just like, why?
It's like, oh my, really? Again?
Like, why does it have to be an action comedy?
Why does it got to be comedy?
Like, I mean, if...
Like, have some comedy, like, natural comedy.
Yeah, but, like, her character is a military person first.
Yeah.
This is like Hal Jordan, like, she's a military person first. Mm-hmm. She's badass on her own.
Yeah.
And then she becomes Captain Marvel on top of that. Like, I felt like if we were going to use other characters to sort of plug into these previous roles that are going to be vacated, like Captain America, for instance, Captain Marvel could have been one of those ones to fit in there, right?
Right.
Or like I was saying, like Black Panther could be the other one you could kind of fit into there. You know what I mean? We've already talked about how Spider-Man is going to be sort of kind of like the next Iron Man type character.
Absolutely. So we're seeing the next generation.
Or even like Doctor Strange being like the Iron Man character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he's sticking around.
I would say more so him as the Iron Man character.
And if this Fox deal goes through, then we're going to have Fantastic Four come over. You're going to have Reed Richards and everything.
That's right. So you had all these. You have an opportunity to have characters sort of sub in, and then of course you have literally Winter Soldier become Captain America. So that's an option too.
That's happening. I can guarantee that's going to happen.
But like in the meantime, it's.
And the Black Widow movie's going ahead. Finally.
After Red Sparrow. And
Marvel's making a Black Widow movie.
Michelle saw the trailer for that. She saw the trailer for that, and she literally was like, "Oh, I guess we'll never see a Black Widow movie."
Yeah, so Michelle is saying that.
And I was like, "Yeah, I know," and I want to see it, but at the same time, it was just like, ugh.
It looks really good.
It does look really good.
Yeah. It's even like Black Widow, Red Sparrow.
Yeah.
It's like
she said the Red Room. We got a Red Sparrow. Yeah. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's different. Yeah. It's different. But they're ballerinas. Look, it's different.
Okay. Totally different.
Moving along.
But Phase 2, that's it. 5 movies. Nice short phase compared to the ginormous monster that Phase 3 is.
yeah, like the more I think about it, I'm just like, that's kind of exhausting.
It's like 12 movies, I think.
Yeah, like, whoa.
Yeah, it's insane in a short amount of time too. Because Avengers: Age of Ultron was 2014.
Yeah.
Or was it 15?
I will tell you in just a second. It is maybe longer than a second. 2015.
It is 15. So they made 12 movies in 3 years. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, because we're looking at like 2 or 3 a year.
Well, it'll be 4 years, I guess, by 2019. But still, yeah, that's 3 a year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Coming off of what they were. But hey, they're bringing in the billions. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But so, yeah.
That's got to be exhausting, though.
It's got to be exhausting.
You know? Like I can kind of see how some of these actors are like, yeah, I love the money and the movies are great, but I don't want to wear the cap suit for a while.
I kind of want to see my family and maybe do this romantic comedy indie movie.
Like anything other than, you know? Yeah. But hey, like, I mean...
I guess there's perks that come along with it too. You know, they all go and visit kids at the hospitals and stuff dressed as heroes, and I'm sure that's got to just be a huge high.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I mean, just the fact that they do it too is just crazy.
It's
awesome.
Amazing.
It's really cool.
They're actually in a way becoming superheroes in their own right.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
to these kids, and that's cool.
I mean, overall, Phase 2, largely just on the backs of 2 movies.
2 movies.
You know.
So Phase 1 is, as a whole, better than Phase 2.
Oh, yeah.
Phase 2 includes a couple of the best movies in the entire Marvel.
Literally 2 of the best movies, period.
Universe.
But it's a weak phase.
But Phase 3 is like a roller coaster. We'll talk about that soon.
It's so huge, though. Like, that's a 2-parter. It's a 2-parter because...
the good ones are good, and the bad ones are... Oof.
I'm trying to think, which ones are the bad ones?
Well, the bad ones are the disappointing ones. So, for me, well, Doc Strange is incredibly disappointing, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not necessarily a bad movie per se, but just...
None of them are bad.
That's right, yeah.
Dark World is not a bad movie.
Especially because Rotten Tomatoes has them largely all around the 70 to 90 percentile, so...
Yeah. The Incredible Hulk is not a bad movie.
What was it, Black Panther at? Is that at 101%?
It would be if it was possible. No, I think it's like 94, but I think it is the highest MCU movie. Yeah. It's The Lion King with people.
Wait, what?
You'll see what I mean.
Okay. All right.
You're going to be like, oh, that's like the Lion... Oh, that's like... Okay.
Okay,
You'll
so there might be like Timon and Pumbaa characters and whatnot?
I guess that could be, Gollum and Bilbo.
Fair enough.
2 white guys in the movie.
Fair enough.
What's that? The Tolkien white guys.
Bilbo Baggins. No, yeah, he was Bilbo. That's right. He was Bilbo.
Yeah.
And Frodo?
No, Andy Serkis, Gollum.
Oh, Gollum. That's right. Yeah.
So,
one of the few roles where he's not playing anything other than a human.
That friggin' hilarious meme that I saw. The Tolkien white guys.
The Tolkien white guys. That's right. Yeah, that is actually funny.
But that's Phase 2, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by. Let us know below what you thought of Phase 2, what your favorite movie is. I'm probably going to be The Winter Soldier.
Always tell your friends.
How do you disagree with that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't try to disagree with Winter Soldier. Try to tell me that's not one of the best movies of all time.
Say something you don't like about it, and then we'll tell you you're wrong.
We won't have any other reasons. It's just going to be you're wrong.
You're wrong. That's it.
That. So
yeah, share, subscribe. We'll be back way sooner next time.
Oh yeah.
Because this is a busy year for superhero movies.
Oh god, yeah, man.
So we got lots to talk
about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And this guy lives like a minute away from me now, so that's perfect.
Oh yeah. And you never know. We might actually come up with stuff like the Halloween episode where it's not even superhero related. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that will happen eventually. Again, next Halloween.
So I guess goodbye. Is that how we're going to end it?
Yeah.
Weirdly?
Yeah, we'll go.
I also love you. Oh.
These pancakes are delicious.